FenceOutlet.com.
Fence Outlet, your home improvement specialist. For a free quote, visit FenceOutlet.com today.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the personal injury law firm of Kaufman and Lynn studio. Car accidents, other injuries? Call pound 546 from your cell or visit whenyouneedus.com. You're listening to WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Available everywhere with the iHeartRadio app. Now number 1 for podcasting. We are an iHeart radio station. Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. You are now listening to the Jim Colbert Show on Real Radio 104.1.
That's right, guys. Here we go on a Monday edition of the Jim Colbert Show. Thanks so much for tuning in. We do appreciate it, and we do have a stacked program for you today. Tons of fun stuff. We'll get you caught up on the news with Deb right after the first segment here with the Woke News. Sports today with our buddy Brandon Kravitz. We'll get an Olympic update, our very last Olympic update. Let you know with everything that happened, medal count and all that stuff. We'll do that at 4 o'clock with Jack. Plus, we have trivia, Ross Thoughts, our buddy Stephen Kramer calling today. And, of course, 3 more opportunities for you to get in on the summer of stuff. Welcome to the program. I am Jim. To my left, my very lovely and dangerous co-host, Ms. Deb Roberts.
Hello there.
Straight ahead producer, Jack Bradshaw.
Good afternoon.
And Mr. Comedy Alien, Mr. Ross Page.
Still drunk from Key West.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us, 77031. Find us easily on social media. Instagram, Facebook at The Jim Colbert Show. Twitter, just at Jim Colbert Show. And remember, we do broadcast this show, stream the show every day on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. By the way, if you want to slide over there and give us a YouTube like and subscribe, we'd love that. That's our brand new channel. We want to get as many followers as we can. How was everybody's weekend? Very long weekend. Very.
Yes, did you have a nice Mother's Day?
Yeah, it was.
We're live, people.
Yeah, we are.
It's so funny. Like I was looking at the text service because we didn't. In radio, you don't tell people you're going on vacation. You don't tell people you're doing anything because you want them to stay tuned and you can kind of listen to the best of. Jack does a wonderful job at procuring the best of. So good that I had a number of friends wonder why I was at the campsite.
Right.
They're like, why are you here? Aren't you on the air? What are they doing? I'm like, Jay goes, it did it so well that nobody even knew we were up there. Just took a couple days off. It turned out Ross had a gig in Key West. Deb had planned some time off. I'd planned some time off. So we just decided to blow out a couple days and put on best of. It's the first time we've done that in the entire show's history, with the exception of Christmas holiday.
Wow.
We've never really done that. So we just decided to take a couple days off and end our summer up with a little blast. Of course, then we'll move into the fall, and days off are kind of done for me until probably later this year. But everybody have a good weekend?
Good weekend. I want to let everyone know on our private Facebook group, Gym members, a lot of conspiracy theories
Yeah, I love
floating around out there.
That's my favorite thing, that just you take 2 days off and automatically Jim got cut in half, I'm sure.
Oh, no,
Jim got abducted, died in a hot air balloon, eaten by a whale. It's all the fun stuff. Not just a vacation day.
Yeah.
There's no way that's possible.
no, by 3:05 on Thursday, people were wondering if you were fired or
Right.
if we were all fired.
Exactly.
I heard Ross has triple COVID.
Heard he died in a plane crash like Ozzy.
We're the only show without it.
It's
Randy
another
Rhoads.
day of reruns. Something is seriously
Oh,
wrong.
my God. It's so funny because there's a couple other people that's like, oh, there's something happening.
Exactly.
I'm sure of it. Yeah. You know what's happening? I'm drinking gin at 10 in the morning. That's what's happening. That's all that's happening. I'm hammered at 11 a.m. Thursday. Everything's fine. All right, 407-916-1041. And by the way, that is one of the things I want to talk about today.
What, gin?
I have discovered the world of gin.
Oh.
So I have to eventually I have to become an old gay man in Hollywood, or an old actress, because that's all they do is drink straight gin with just wave a lemon over it.
Yeah, a little Virginia Slim. You must fulfill the prophecy.
God, I made this cucumber cooler thing with mint and cucumber and gin and simple syrup, and I could not stop drinking them.
Well,
God almighty,
that
dude.
sounds
That's a clean buzz, by the way.
Such a refreshing Florida drink.
Yeah.
Until you try to stand out.
Yeah, if refreshing until it's 106 outside, like it was all weekend long.
Are your parents disappointed?
They're very disappointed.
Yeah, they just looked at you and went, I'm sorry, you put melon in your drink?
Yeah, just cucumber, buddy, cucumber. Just a little, just a freshie there.
Had a cucumber gimlet once. It was fantastic.
I've got great stories for you guys today. One really not great at all. But one really funny. This past weekend, my wife's Christmas party for her company was this past weekend. I know that sounds weird.
Little late, maybe early. I don't know.
It's kind of a weird thing. Honestly, what they did was they couldn't do it last year because of COVID.
Right.
Nobody was really doing anything. And with the variant kind of running through, which Deb will tell you in a second, is just like Godzilla through everywhere right now. My father-in-law actually gave me an update as a chaplain with Advent Health that was also a bit harrowing. But either way, what the hell was I saying?
You're talking about your wife's Christmas party.
So we did that.
I think we're also watching the effects of gin.
I think so. Yeah, exactly.
I didn't have that many.
Your
Anyway,
love for juniper berries.
we hired our buddy Ken Miller to come and do stand-up during her Christmas party in July. And we'll tell you what happened there because something very funny happened that night. We'll tell you all that story as well. It is so unbelievably hot outside.
Yes, it is.
God bless every one of you, everybody who works outdoors. God bless every one of you. I don't understand it. I was outside having fun this weekend, and it got terrible.
And that includes
cumbersome.
the people who drive around like in those big brown ovens, otherwise known as, I believe, UPS trucks.
Brutal.
Why? FedEx guys have AC?
And FedEx. Anyone, because a lot of times we
Screw
mention...
you, DHL!
A lot of times we'll mention the outdoor landscapers, roofers, that kind of thing. We
All right.
forget, then we hear from the delivery guys.
hey, I
The
drive a
delivery,
mail truck.
the delivery guys got nothing on the warehouse people for UPS. That's where the hell is for UPS
Well,
is the warehouse.
You start that.
You get that wind coming in the open door in your UPS brown shorts.
When you're
you get that nice breeze when you get up 35, 40 miles an hour.
That's
saying-
swampy.
just saying brown shorts, Ben.
It's
dark
UPS
brown short.
brown.
Yeah,
It's
407.
patented.
Maybe that's by design. They really work you hard there. It'll be cool. If they switch to green, you might want to move. 407-916-1041. All right, so did have one of the worst Mondays ever.
All right.
And
What's
it's
up,
weird because
Garfield?
it doesn't sound like that. And it's one of those stereotypical things. But you guys have been listening to me document the situations with my mom, right? So
Yeah.
it took a really interesting turn today, and I'm going to be dead honest with everybody listening to the show right now. I'm legit looking for help here. Like I'm legit asking you to call a little bit later when we bring this up a little bit later in the program, and I'll let all of you kind of stew with this. And I'm sure, without question, that there's somebody in the audience, probably multiple people in the audience that are dealing with this, right? So I get a phone call from my mother this morning. Who is continuing her dialysis up in Putnam County, where I'm from, and and they're taking great care of her. They're in the process of moving her from the rehab unit over to the living unit until we make the arrangements for her to have a living assisted facility with her own room, and it takes time to get that. That's not something you just kind of do online.
No, there's usually, in fact, waiting lists
8
years
weeks.
long.
Well, funny thing is, oddly funny, not really a waiting list now because of COVID, sadly and kind of morbidly, but that's the case. So just going through the process with Medicaid to get it in there, and it takes about 2 months. So I'm telling her, hey, Mom, you got 2 months. We'll have you in somewhere. You'll have your own room. It'll be like an apartment, and we can kind of move forward from there, right? All you have to do is tough this out, and we're going to be fine. How do I say this one part without
Swearing?
without saying it? Because I don't want to say that one thing yet. I'm not happy. I can't say that yet. But let's just say my mom has considered an alternative reality for a while. Maybe not necessarily by her doing. So either way, got a call this morning that my mom calls me and she says, hey, I want to talk to you about something. And we're driving back from camping, from having a great weekend celebrating my wife's birthday, with our friends that we celebrate a lot with, and had a great weekend as always. We always have a wonderful time with these people. They're wonderful people. And we're driving back home. I get a call from Mom and answer the call. And she says, hey, what's going on? And it's odd already because my mom usually doesn't call me. She'll just text and then I'll call her or whatever. So, hey, I said, hey, what's going on? And she said, hey, I want to tell you something. And I'm sure you're not going to agree, but it's resolute. I've thought about this all night long, and I'm just going to let you know. And I said, okay. And I'm bracing myself because when my mom says something like this, specifically over the last 20 years, it could legit be anything. Just anything. My mom's a sweet woman, but it's been a bit of a ride. And she says, I have decided to end dialysis, that I am going to stop my dialysis treatments. Now, she's 78 years old, and she has lived a full life, and she is a grown-ass woman that can make her own decisions. And she informed me, before you even say anything, you're not going to talk me out of this. I don't think anything's wrong with me. I think I'm fine. I don't think there's an issue. I feel great, blah, 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 blah. I don't think I need it. And I said, well, Mom, I mean, you've been looked at by like 5 doctors now, and they all have concluded that you have severe kidney disease to the point of failure. You do need dialysis to take care of this. She said, I do not. I'm going to be okay, and blah, 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 blah. And then, I was perplexed because we've talked about this. We've talked about the importance of the dialysis with her. Of all things, the most important thing is this, because without the ability to clean your blood, you get this toxemia thing, right? Or I think it's called toxemia. It's a toxicity of the blood. Basically, it's sepsis.
Yeah.
The kidneys are no longer filtering your blood and cleaning it of all the toxins, which of course then you urinate out, blah, 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 blah. It's none of that's happening anymore. So her blood is going to get increasingly more toxic as it doesn't get cleaned by her kidneys. And if you read up on a decision of this nature, which happens often, by the way, this happens very often. Dialysis is 3 times a week, 3 hours a day, and it is no fun. I mean, I would tell you straight up, it would be no fun. Even if you just go in there, read a book, go hop online, watch a show, a movie every time, whatever the case may be,
Still sucks.
it would still loom over you like a dark cloud that it's always asking for your time. And you would never give it credit for giving you life because it just doesn't seem like that, because you never really feel bad. But you never give the dialysis credit for being the answer. But it is, And, I started asking her some questions that she didn't like, about the finality of the situation. And he's like, hey, have you made plans? Did you buy a plot? I don't know any of these things. We don't talk about this stuff.
Ugh.
And then she, of course, snapped back and she says, oh my God, you're trying to put me in the ground already. I said, well, Mom, you're making a life or death. You're making a life or death decision here. You're making a life or death decision. How else am I supposed to react to this? I don't know anything. You haven't told me, anything about your personal finances or what's going on. I don't know what bills you owe. I don't have power of attorney, so I have no access to it. I tried to pay her car payment for her the other day, and I had to have her call the car company to get the loan number. They wouldn't even give me that. And I wanted to give them money, and they wouldn't allow me. So she had to call and get the accountant and give that to me, and then I could make a call and pay her car payment for her so she could have, the store vehicle. Even though she's not going to use it anymore, I did it to make her happy, yes.
I'm just hoping that someone like attorney Stephen Kramer, who does estate planning and maybe he has some advice.
Well,
maybe he's run into this with other families and he can say from a legal perspective.
I actually texted Steve this morning and said, hey, because we text every morning when I know he's going to be on the show to talk about what we're going to talk about. I said, hey, break off some time for this, please. This is troubling. And I'm calling her brothers and I'm calling everybody. And then when you have somebody that age, and if you hear, I'm not as emotional as I was when this thing hit. I'm not going to get emotional about this. I've already gone through all that. I didn't know this was coming, but I really felt this is probably. I'm one of the. I am an ultimate optimist. You probably don't feel that way when you listen to me talk on the air because I'm also a realist. But I believe in things deeply, and then when I do, I go. There's no second. It's just full send at all times. And I never would go into a situation thinking I'm going to fail. I go in to win. If you fail, well, you learn something and you go at it again next time, right? That's how you do it. I just never, even though my mom was on a good path and we were getting in there, I never had that resolute feeling inside that this is going to stick.
Yeah,
and my wife
because you know better.
And my wife kind of called me out on this a little bit coming home, and I said, yeah, everything you're saying is absolutely right. I just can't go into a situation. What we were talking about is moving my mom down to try to take care of her here. And then her leaving 11 days. It's like the 5th time she's done it. We've tried to get her into a better situation. She just wasn't having it. And she goes, Jimmy, how much more do you think you can do? And that's when I just stopped talking. I'm like, there's nothing else I can do. I mean, I've literally handled this entire situation by myself. My sister has done the best she can. Her brothers have done the best they can. But at the end of the day, she can decide to do whatever she wants. If she wanted to get in her car and drive it off a cliff, she could do that. She could do a bunch of things. She's choosing not to do this. And what makes me so helpless is I can't go up there and strap her to a gurney and plug that damn thing in.
Right.
She's got free will. She can do whatever she wants. And the hospital called me last week. She refused it last week as well because she said it was cold and she was tired. And I knew that was a lie because she's shifty. Old bat. She's shifty old bat. And I called her and she fed me some line. Then I called the nurse. I'm like, we're not letting her do that. She just said she didn't want to go. She's tired of doing it. Didn't want to go. She told me she was cold. And I said, look at the tables turning here.
Right.
I told you I had a C, but I didn't. An F the entire time. Either way. So what I'm looking for you guys a little bit later when we get to this is when I bring this back up later in the program, just some simple advice. If you guys have dealt with this before, could you get through to them? Did you try? Was there a technique that you tried that woke them up where you could look at them and go, hey, look? I mean, we tried the family thing. She doesn't really, she's at that point where she doesn't really, it just doesn't sink in.
Beyond that, sorry, Ross, beyond that, I think the biggest thing is figuring out legally how you're going to be able to take care of her affairs because right now you're the one in the middle and everyone is, right now you legally can't do anything to help her.
Yeah. And I told her, I said, Mom, you understand what this means, right? I mean, you understand what this means. And she goes, well, if I die, I die. I just don't believe everything's wrong.
All I know is that it's going to be far more complex than just, hey, look over there.
Yeah. You can do that. What a pretty bird. And the next thing you know, she's on dialysis. Oh, you got me again.
Yeah.
I won't fall for it next time. Tell me in 2 days. All right, 407-916-1041. Deb, what's coming up for news?
Well, you had mentioned it, but yeah, we're going to talk about Advent Health saying it is, quote, up to the brink with COVID cases. The Pentagon is going to mandate vaccinations by mid-September. And be careful. The latest TikTok trend could lead to diarrhea. We'll cover that and so much more coming up during Woke News.
All right, 407-916-1041. Back with Deb's News, more of the Jim Colbert Show right after this. Happy Monday, everybody.
What's more exciting than a brand new iPhone with a dozen cameras? How about Real Radio on your iPhone? Just tell Siri to play Real Radio 104.1.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center, shop the rest. Buy from the best. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Our heaviest traffic continues eastbound on I-4 between Osceola Parkway and State Road 535. We're steady, too, between Fairbanks Avenue and Lee Road, and also between Conroy Road and OBT. Westbound busy on I-4 between Mainland Boulevard and Fairbanks Avenue. We're still in good shape on the Beach Line, the 408, and the Turnpike. See traffic problems? Call the SafeTouchSecurity.com traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Paige Carrera.
This report is sponsored by Amtrak. Amtrak. Whether you're craving a breath of fresh mountain air, an exciting new adventure, or just some free babysitting from Grandma, Amtrak can get you there. With more than 500 destinations across the country. Everything you're missing, just an Amtrak away.
Guys, look, when I think about a custom fence from Mossy Oak Fence, I think about high quality. Because the skilled craftsmen over Mossy Oak Fence use only the very best materials. That's high quality backed by the best warranty in the business. I also think a little bit about sensibility because the guys over at Mossy Oak Fence offer affordable payment plans. But really what I think about, safety and security, because your family's safety and security is Mossy Oak's #1 priority. If you're thinking about a fence, a new fence, you got to get with the guys over at Mossy Oak Fences. These guys are the best. Visit mossyoakfences.com and let the Mossy family protect your family today.
This year full of Real Radio is brought to you by Clausman Law. Car crash? Call Glenn Clausman. ClausmanLaw.com.
Let radio advertising keep your business top of mind with customers all summer long. Visit iHeartAdBuilder.com to get your business on the radio quickly and easily. You can even make your own radio ad. Just answer a few questions and we'll do the rest. Sign up today at iHeartAdBuilder.com.
When emails are answered, workout is finished, kids are dressed, and the sun is barely up, it's time for McDonald's. Now with bundles, your order is automatic, like a sausage McMuffin and hash browns for $2 or a McDouble and small fries for $3 later. With so much juggling in a day, the easiest part is getting your faves with bundles at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Valid when product served. Offer not valid for McDelivery.
Need to turn your home equity into cash? This is Robert Palmer, and home values are at an all-time high. Smart homeowners are accessing home equity at today's low rates. But don't use your home equity to pay closing costs. Let me pay them instead. Visit rpfunding.com for details. NMLS 70168, Equal Housing.
You do not want your AC to break down when it gets hot in the summertime in Central Florida, so make sure you get hold of Mills Air. They can help you with preventative maintenance on all brands. Preventative maintenance can save you so much money. They can detect upcoming breakdowns and you're not stuck. millsair.com. That's millsair.com.
International Diamond Center's best event of the year is happening now with your choice of 2 incredible offers. Offer number 1, an instant 25% savings on all wedding bands. You heard it right. Now, for a limited time, get our best price ever on all wedding bands, 25% off across the board. Or if you prefer, you can take advantage of offer number 2. 0 interest financing for 36 months on any purchase. And IDC will even cover your first 2 payments. This incredible finance option is for everything: rings, pendants, bands, bracelets, designer jewelry, even certified diamonds. Pick any item, spread your payments over 3 years with 0 interest, and as a bonus, IDC will even cover your first 2 payments. So you can save big on wedding bands or take advantage of this incredible finance offer. Whichever you choose, you can't lose during IDC's Summer of Savings event, now through the end of August, only at International Diamond Center. 4 Orlando locations on approved credit.
Are you a Slurpee drink connoisseur? Do you know the secret to the perfect big gulp drink mix? Find your next job with the world's #1 convenience store. 7-Eleven, Speedway, and our independent 7-Eleven franchise business owners are hiring. Stop by your local store or visit us online to apply today. Equal opportunity employer.
Do you even remember the last time you changed your spark plugs? Well, then now's a good time. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and get a $15 gift card after mail-in rebate when you purchase 4 or more select Iridium spark plugs. Put the pep back in your car. Visit your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store or shop O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a broken traffic light. Stop and go is the name of my game. It's easy. You go, they go. Or was it, they go, you go? And if you have the wrong car insurance, these repair costs could stop you in your tracks. So get Allstate's new low auto rate and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Not available in every state based on coverage and limits selected. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
One day you're serving in the military, and then the next day you come home and you're dealing with an injury.
Britton is in recovery from an addiction to prescription opioids.
My opioid misuse and need got so strong. Addiction is hard. You're not going to fix it on your own. You have to reach out for help. The recovery side of it is amazing. You get to a place where you're proud of yourself again.
If you or someone you know is struggling, there is hope. Recovery is possible. Visit cdc.gov/RX awareness.
What? Just 15 seconds to talk about Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea? That smooth taste of real brewed tea with just the right kick of alcohol. What? We started already. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Look for it in the bright yellow cans.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
This summer, check out live outdoor entertainment and even bigger concerts at the Dr. Phillips Center Front Yard Festival, presented by Advent Health. Rock, country, jazz, and more. Plus, dinner and drinks delivered right to your box. All in downtown Orlando, and only through the end of this year. The lineup keeps growing, so keep an eye on frontyardfestival.org.
Thousands of free playlists are being created now by people just like you on the free iHeart app. At iHeart, we think every mood and activity deserves a playlist, so we made it totally free for you to start creating your very own. Working out, chilling out, or maybe you're getting ready for tailgate season. We made it super easy. Start by searching for a song, or simply add a song you hear streaming on your favorite station like this one directly into a playlist, and we'll help with the other songs to finish it. Only on the free iHeart app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one.
As America's largest injury law firm, size is our strength. Morgan & Morgan.
Radio. 104.1.
You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show on Real Radio 104.1.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1. Back live on this beautiful August Monday. Hotter than the devil's butt.
Ooh, that's stanky.
Balls, breath, and back.
Oh, so brutal out there. Welcome back. I am Jim. Deb is here, along with Jack and Ross, paying a little homage to a founding member of Kool and the Gang, who died this past weekend. Dennis Thomas, one of the founding members. And this was, if you roller skated in the late 70s to, let's say, 88, you heard some damn Kool and the Gang.
Yeah.
They would play some damn Kool and the Gang up in the skating rink. Young. This song was the jam in 1980-81 in P-Town for the skating rink. You could not get past it. It was all-encompassing. It had its own gravitational pull.
Since then, go to a wedding reception where you do not hear this song.
Yeah. Another one. It's cool. And these guys had a bunch of good tunes, man.
Yeah.
All right, 407.
We'll hear a couple today. He was 70. Also, Marky Post 70.
Yeah, from Night Court.
Yeah. Oh. And then, of course, all of the movies on Hallmark.
Oh, and I think Fall Guy in between.
Yeah, Fall Guy.
Yeah, that's
right. 407-916-1041. Jack and Ross are here as well. Deb.
Yeah.
Let's get caught up on some news.
All right.
And now, it's time for Woke News.
It seems like kind of a misuse of the whole world.
On the Jim Colbert Show.
Woke News is brought to you by Home Loans Radio with that mortgage guy, Don. He's also host of the Home Loans Radio Show.
Home loans?
A local hospital system is, in the words of at least one doctor, up to the brink with COVID cases. Advent Health's Dr. Aftab Khan says they can't take any more patients because of all of the COVID patients they're currently treating. He says this is going to affect patients with other conditions like heart attacks or strokes. Dr. Khan recently told Channel 9 he has seen over 1,000 COVID cases in recent days, and most of those patients are unvaccinated. And Florida coronavirus hospitalizations are also at a new record high. Federal health officials report 13,977 COVID-19 patients are occupying hospital beds across the state, including more than 2,800 in intensive care. The latest figures show nearly 90% of Florida ICU beds are in use and close to 45% are being used by COVID patients.
I think I'm the only person in my family who doesn't have it right now. I'll be dead honest with you. I think my sister has it. My two uncles have it. My mom has it. When she's up there, she has it. It's bananas. And I'll tell you, just so you guys know, we don't play the political game when it comes to stuff like this because there's no reason to. My father-in-law, I told you guys this, I think, right before we left to go on our little vacation, is a chaplain with a number of organizations. One of those is Advent Health. He is a voting Republican. He votes Republican. He only votes Republican.
Right.
And he told me he's never seen anything like this at Advent Health. He goes, these people are scrambling. You can see the fear in the hallways. You can see it. You can feel the palpable. You can feel the tension the minute you walk in the building because of the overwhelming need in Advent hospitals. That is a non-biased opinion from a guy who prays with people before they die.
But isn't that what he's been seeing over the last 18
Yeah, but I mean, this last swing has been, he just got on with Advent. He was with Kindred for a while and dealing with people who were purely hospice, terminal, they were going to pass, and he would give them that comfort of faith as they were moving toward that date. This is different. He's, with Advent now, supposed to be offering those same services and does, but when he's in those hospitals, when he does have access, they'll tell you straight up that it's just, it's a scene.
Yeah.
It's quite a scene. Nobody's making this up. It's a scene.
Well, as COVID case numbers, adult hospitalizations, and child hospitalizations, that's the thing I'm hearing more of that concerns me. And I don't have kids, but still, it's at or near record numbers. And school begins in most of the Sunshine State tomorrow. Now, Florida Agriculture Commissioner Nikki Fried says her team is circling back with White House officials. This came after a discussion on Friday about what to do when it comes to getting school districts federal funding because Governor DeSantis, of course, had threatened to cut state funding to school districts that require student mask mandates. Well, students in Orange and Seminole counties will be required to wear masks when school begins tomorrow. Unless they bring a note from a parent saying that they've opted out. And, of course, the governor made school vouchers available to students who don't want to mask up. But when you're getting those last-minute school supplies, that is a change. I mean, and this is changing weekly. It was just a couple of weeks ago we talked about how they were going to be optional, but the Delta variant is changing everything. Speaking of getting ready for the school year, it's not too late to save on back-to-school shopping, but the deadline is here. The state sales tax holiday expires today. But if you're running out for some last-minute shopping, you'll be able to buy many school-related items, including clothes, without having to pay the sales tax. And you can get more info on eligible items at floridarevenue.com. Basically, clothing and shoes under $60, school supplies under $15, and I believe the first $1,000 toward a new computer is also considered tax-free.
Damn.
This happened. FSU football fans are going to get a chance to say goodbye to the man who brought the program to unprecedented heights. Former Florida State football coach Bobby Bowden passed away over the weekend at the age of 91. It was, 2 weeks ago. He had just announced that he had been diagnosed with a terminal illness, although he had never said what that illness was. Bowden will lie in honor at the Florida Historic Capitol Museum this Friday. Also, I have read he's going to lie in repose at the Moore Athletic Center at Doak Campbell Stadium, and then there's going to be a public funeral set for Saturday at the Tucker Civic Center. Fans are encouraged to contribute to the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Now, when I first moved to Florida, there were only 2 teams that seemed to play the college championships, at least during that time, and that was the Gators and FSU.
And then you could throw Miami in there a little bit toward the end. But yeah,
a little bit of Miami,
yeah.
but those 2, Gators and FSU. For those who don't know, he led the Seminoles to national championships in 93 and 1999. He's said to be the coach that actually saved, put FSU's football program on the map. He's the second winningest coach in college football history.
Did Bobby Bowden ever go by the nickname of Bobo?
I never heard that in my life.
That's a missed opportunity.
We're going to talk about this with Brandon, but part of my childhood from the time when I worked at Winn-Dixie, that famous Winn-Dixie where I sold watermelons.
Yeah.
Not so famous, really. But I remember sweeping. That was my first job. I remember sweeping those floors, and we would take the little transistor radio and put it to the public announcement center and then rubber band that shut. So it would broadcast the Florida State games through the entire store while we were cleaning the store. And I heard every game for a year or 2 years via Gene Deckerhoff
the best.
And his unbelievable post-game interviews with Bobby Bowden, where Bobby Bowden would win by 30 and still bitch at his team because they could have stopped 10 of those 30 points. Dadgummit. He never cursed. We have a lot to talk about with Bobby Bowden a little bit later, but wonderful guy.
Well, in other Florida sports news, some other history, but this is on the other side. University of Miami, speaking of University of Miami, Hurricanes quarterback is the country's first collegiate athlete to sign a sponsor deal with a professional sports team. Derek King will endorse the Florida Panthers at games and events, plus work with the team to produce digital and social media content. He'll even help develop a merchandise collection. The team says King is just the first of what it calls FLA athlete, Florida athlete.
That's weird. A college football quarterback
endorsing
hockey.
I don't get it, but
well, that's how advertising works.
Yeah,
man.
I guess.
It's just the bigger the platform, the more people are going to see it.
I guess so.
Target demos.
Okay, back to COVID, and the ping pong battle continues. This time, Norwegian Cruise Line is celebrating a legal victory over the state of Florida. A federal judge ruled the cruise line can require passengers to be vaccinated. Of course, Governor Ron DeSantis had sued Norwegian to stop these so-called vaccine passports. The company plans to resume sailing next weekend from Port Miami, and it says it's pleased to operate in the safest way possible with 100% vaccination of all its guests and crew. And that was basically their legal argument in court, which was the governor's mandate is preventing them from being able to safely operate their business and maintain their good reputation. So...
Yeah, I saw that Mardi Gras. We were at Jetty Park this weekend camping, which is exactly where all the cruise ships are.
Yeah.
So I woke up Saturday morning to go out and go out to take a shower in the old shower thing there. And I look up to the right, and all I see is a roller coaster above the tree line. I'm like, all right, we're dead. I said, apparently the whole time these aliens have been flying roller coasters here, and we didn't know it. But it looked like the thing was flying right at us.
I bet.
That ship is obnoxious.
Yeah.
It's obnoxious.
Well, it's also being not used.
There was somebody.
No, actually,
they sail it in and out because they sailed it and there were people on it. I don't know if it was
it had just come back from its first. That was its first voyage with paying customers in over a year.
And they had all they were lining them up, man. Royal Caribbean had one in the port this morning. Loading up. So I don't know what the deal is with it. They're there. And as they were sailing that thing off, my buddy was like, "There ain't nobody on that ship." I'm like, "Well, I can look up there and see if there's somebody on the ship." Now there weren't passengers, not like you would normally see.
Normally,
because when those things leave the port, that's like that's some of the best partying, because you get up there on that top deck when they open that thing up for drinks right when you get on the ship, and you just scream at people that on the ground about how much more lucky in life you are than they are.
Adios, losers.
That's right. Keep fishing.
I'm on a boat.
Get a Mai Tai.
You're on stupid land.
Well, we're now close to the statistical peak of the hurricane season and right on time.
Oh, yeah. Cue the storms?
Yeah. A low-pressure system located about 150 miles east of Barbados is being given now an 80% chance of development. It was 70% when we got in today.
Bring it.
The National Hurricane Center says it's likely likely to become a tropical depression. It could be later today or tonight as it moves to the west-northwest at 10 to 15 miles an hour. If it becomes an organized storm, it'll be named Fred.
All right.
But how it might affect Florida is still not clear, but it could be something that we could be dealing with some tropical moisture over the weekend, or we could be dealing with something worse. Meanwhile, forecasters say another system located several hundred miles east of the Lesser Antilles has a low chance of development, but keep in mind, we now are going to see this 84% of our tropical storm activity happens between August and October.
Yeah.
And again, the statistical peak is September 10th. So we're heading into the busiest time of the year. This is when the systems roll off the coast of Africa and have those nice, warm Atlantic waters.
It's so funny because every one of the models, they don't even bother with the teasing. They just draw the line straight from the coast of Africa right into Disney. They're like, this is where it's coming. Everything dies. And then, of course, 4 hours later, it's like, no, it's going to hit Puerto Rico. We're cool.
And speaking of, I have a national story when it comes to the environment, but nationally, back to COVID, the Pentagon is going to require all U.S. service members to get the COVID vaccine by mid-September, September 15th, actually. It could happen before that time, depending on today or expected final FDA approval of the available vaccine. Pfizer could be given final FDA approval within the next week or two. The vaccines have been covered so far by an emergency use authorization, but in a letter to U.S. military forces, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin urged all service members to get vaccinated and not wait for the mandate. Austin said a healthy and ready force is necessary to defend the U.S. More than 70%, though, of all active duty service members have reportedly received at least one shot. And that's we just reached, I believe, 50% of the U.S. population. So that's still better than what the U.S. population as a whole is looking at.
I just talked to my daughter this morning about that. She's in the Air Force, of course, and she told me back then when she was getting her vaccination that most of the people she knew were doing it voluntarily. That everybody got it. She got the Moderna, and I was asking her if she had any side effects from the second shot because mine's coming up here in the next few days. And she said, no, it put her down for quite a while, for a day or so. It put her down, it reacted to it. But she told me that most of the people, and I said, hey, I just heard today mandatory by September 15th. And she actually said she can't believe it took them that long.
Yeah.
She expected it to be mandatory by now. She just actually was just a preemptive strike to get hers so they didn't have to tell her she had to get it because she thought it was coming we talked about 3 weeks ago. And she couldn't believe they were making it then.
I'm surprised at the number of law enforcement officers, actually. I was reading Sheriff Mike Chitwood because we lost a couple of local deputies over the weekend. Apparently, we've lost like 300 LEOs in the state of Florida to COVID. And it's like, well, then why aren't they, especially dealing with the public? You would think that if you have to be vaccinated against hepatitis, if you're going to be dealing with a drug addict, you think you'd have to be vaccinated against COVID. I wanted to do this story because I heard a troubling thing on TV I have to look into, but that the Gulf, the jet stream, that the Gulf Stream is collapsing, but hundreds of top scientists say the world is facing climate changes not seen in thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of years. A report released today by the United Nations Intergovernmental Panel of Climate Change calls the current state, quote, a code red for humanity, end quote.
I wonder if Mother Earth looks at us, humanity, as like COVID.
Insects? Yeah.
We're the COVID
We're
of Mother Nature.
We're the locusts.
Yeah, I don't know if it was George Carlin who said, we are the virus.
We are the virus. Yeah, the report says some changes already in motion, such as the continued rise of sea levels. Last week, scientists saw some melting in Greenland that caused them a lot of concern. They'll say it's going to take hundreds of thousands of years to reverse some of these changes, which we just can't stop anymore. The report says extreme weather events from storms to heat waves. I don't know if you've seen any of the video coming out of Greece of people with those dramatic evacuations from wildfires. Greece, Macedonia, places you've just never heard of before.
Can we have Yeti just build a dome over Greenland?
I like where your head's at. And then we can nuke global warming.
Okay, finally, I wanted to Quentin Tarantino.
Okay.
But this is harshish.
Oh, really?
This is a reminder to every parent who gets pissed at your kids.
Oh, I remember. You asked me if I saw this story before the show, and I just listened to his interview with Mark Maron,
God.
which I loved. Quentin Tarantino is like 60, and the dude sounds like he's 14 at his first MegaCon. Every time he explains everything, it's like, let me tell you something, Mark. I went in there and did this thing, and I looked at Brad Pitt, and I said, you do the line the way I said to do it. You do it, buddy. And then he's just like, the whole interview. And I'm a raging, fast-talking guy, and I was like, brother, take a breath. Like, take a breath. It was a good interview, though. Go ahead.
Just for all those parents, Academy Award-winning, in case you've forgotten, Mom and Dad, Academy Award-winning director Quentin Tarantino is keeping a vow he made as a preteen to not share his fortune with his mother. On a recent podcast, like you said, Jimmy, that you heard, Tarantino explained he made the vow after his mother sided with teachers who scolded him for writing screenplays in school when he was 12. Tarantino said when he got home, his mother said, quote, by the way, this little writing career you're doing is over, end quote. Tarantino has won Best Original Screenplay Oscars for Pulp Fiction and Django Unchained. On the Moment podcast, Tarantino said he helped his mother out, quote, with a jam with the IRS, but no house, no Cadillac.
Yeah, he also has an estranged father that he also like totally shunned. I love his movies. I listen to that podcast. I listen to his podcast with Joe Rogan. Love his movies. But he can be a dick.
My God.
Look here, I didn't say he couldn't be a dick. I didn't say that. I'm just saying that guy has that verve that you think he has. When you hear him do interviews, like you can imagine that dude is like that 24/7.
I'm listening to this podcast. I'm like, man, he's got a lot of ego.
Yeah, he does. Oh, yeah.
You know, well earned, but it's also, I prefer when they have the talent, they know it, they just don't kind of force it on you.
You know, honestly, Jack, with me, it's how they do it. Like if they have the ego thing and it's kind of funny, it's fine. But if it's just like straight out, like
he also called Bruce Lee's widow a liar.
Oh God, that's a bit much.
Yeah, and said, well, she can eat a bag of something.
Ooh, wow.
Really?
M&Ms?
Oh no! Everyone who called him out for.
The Bruce Lee thing?
The Bruce Lee thing, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, he said they could eat a bag of something.
And by the way, Bruce Lee was known as kind of an arrogant dick in Hollywood.
Yeah.
I mean, he had that little bit of a reputation, so he's not going that far off.
Yeah.
All right, well, I didn't get a chance to tell you about the TikTok trend that could lead to diarrhea. Maybe we'll save that little nugget for later.
I don't know. You got 30 seconds?
Just so you know, the latest trend on TikTok. It's not a dance or a funny lip sync, and it may lead to diarrhea. Thank you, honey. The hashtag frozen honey has been viewed more than 600 million times. People are filling up a water bottle with honey, then freezing it. After it's frozen, they squeeze it out, and eat it. Health officials say, well, that's great in small doses, but if you eat too much in one sitting, that's a whole lot of sugar to process. You're going to be doing a whole lot more on that TikTok because it could lead to diarrhea, stomach cramping, bloating, and other side effects. Yay, social media. We're number one. And now you all are officially woke. Woke News is brought to you by Home Loans Radio with that mortgage guy, Don. It was such an honor and a privilege to work with Don when Chris and I bought our home in Mount Dora. He made the process quite easily, so much easier than we were expecting. I think working with Don really was the easiest part of buying our house in Mount Dora because he knows what he's talking about and he's done it before. He can help you if you're buying your 15th home. He can help you if you're like me and Chris buying your first home, and you don't have to make an appointment or sit in traffic. Just go right now to homeloansradio.com.
Thanks, Zeb. 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Back with more of the Jim Colbert Show right after this.
Real radio is Real Music Weekends. Real Music Weekends, this weekend on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by attorney Mo DeWitt. Injured on the go? Just call Mo.com.
Hey everybody, good Monday to you. Fox 35 Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Jamie King and now Fox 35 Storm Center with a forecast update for today. Hot and steamy, going about 93. Heat index at around 102 to 103 by this afternoon. Very high humidity. We've got a lot of sunshine early, though clouds will continue to increase into the heart of the afternoon. And after about 1 or 2 o'clock, 50% of you seeing some showers and storms popping around. 75 tonight, an early evening shower or storm before sundown. Then things are partly cloudy, warm and muggy through the late overnight with light winds in play again, mid-70s for you for wake-up temps by tomorrow, Tuesday. For Fox 35, I'm Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Jamie King. Take care.
This report is sponsored by Amtrak. Amtrak. Whether you're craving a breath of fresh mountain air, an exciting new adventure, or just some free babysitting from Grandma, Amtrak can get you there. With more than 500 destinations across the country. Everything you're missing, just an Amtrak away.
New bathroom is just a quick visit away to Altamont Springs. I don't care where you are in Central Florida. It's worth the drive over to Rebath in Mid-Florida to replace or remove or even update that terrible bathroom in your home. And here's the great thing. Real estate market going crazy right now. So people are spending money on homes, whether the bathrooms are good or not. If you happen to have gotten a great deal on one of those houses and you're looking to make it even better, Rebath can do that for you. And they can do it fast. That's another great thing about Rebath. These are not 1, 2, 3 month jobs. These are 4, 5, 6 days max. In and out. That means demo and installing your new bathroom in just a short period of time. And even better, they do it with the same staff. So you hire a contractor, they could be different guys on the job every day. You don't know who that is. These guys are licensed and bonded, background check, and ready to help you out, man. They've been with the company 8 to 10 years. You'll see the same smiling faces in Rebath uniforms every day they are on the job. And when they're done, lifetime guarantee on the products and the install. And the products you can't beat. You can actually see them right now. 436 up in Altamont, right across from Kobe. That's where their showroom is. Walk in, look at those models, man. Unbelievable stuff that they can install. And that's just to show you what they can do. Best thing to do, log on to the website, rebathmidfla.com. Look at those before and afters and just picture that in your home. They can make that happen for you quick. Again, that's rebathmidfla.com.
Okay, so the IKEA 10-year family celebration is here, and we have got a lot to cover.
Taking notes as we speak.
So we've got coupons.
Yep.
Giveaways.
You know it.
And limited time offers.
Already on the shelves.
Great. Oh, lastly, we'll need more chairs.
How many?
Oh, just 22 million.
Right.
It's the celebration of a decade, so let's make sure they all know to go visit their local IKEA store or to IKEA-USA.com now through August 22nd to learn more or become a member today.
Got it.
Oh, you're the best.
I know.
There's never been a better time to switch to Spectrum Mobile. You could save hundreds of dollars on your mobile bill. Plus, there are no added taxes, hidden fees, and no contracts. Try the Spectrum Mobile Savings Calculator today, and in 3 easy steps, you'll see how much you could save by switching. Visit spectrummobile.com/save. Spectrum Internet required. Savings may vary. Restrictions apply. Visit spectrummobile.com/save for details.
Amscot always has free money orders. Not only are they great for paying bills, they can make lots of transactions safer and more convenient. At Amscot, get as many free money orders as you need. No purchase fees. You're okay with us. Amscot.
So you want to be my client. You think you deserve fair compensation for your injuries. Well, you got to call me. Can't just keep listening forever. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Mo DeWitt, Orlando attorney.
International Diamond Center's best event of the year is happening now with your choice of 2 incredible offers. Offer number 1, an instant 25% savings on all wedding bands. You heard it right. Now, for a limited time, get our best price ever on all wedding bands, 25% off across the board. Or if you prefer, you can take advantage of offer number 2, 0 interest financing for 36 months on any purchase, and IDC will even cover your first 2 payments. This incredible finance option is for everything: rings, pendants, bands, bracelets, designer jewelry, even certified diamonds. Pick any item, spread your payments over 3 years with 0 interest, and as a bonus, IDC will even cover your first 2 payments. So you can save big on wedding bands or take advantage of this incredible finance offer. Whichever you choose, you can't lose during IDC's Summer of Savings event, now through the end of August, only at International Diamond Center. 4 Orlando locations on approved credit.
Right from the start, we've always been on the go. And once we got going, we never slowed down. So for the past 100 years at Pep Boys, we've kept our promise to keep you moving. And we plan on keeping it for at least 100 more. Pep Boys, we go further to help you go farther. Now through August 31st at Pep Boys, get free installation instantly on a set of 4 Michelin or BF Goodrich tires. See pepboys.com for complete details.
Napa know-how.
Right now, a 5-quart jug of Napa full synthetic motor oil is just $18.99. It keeps your engine from breaking down without breaking the bank. Yep, a 5-quart jug of Napa full synthetic for $18.99 is not just a great deal. It's the break you've been waiting for. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating locations does not include state local taxes or recycling fees. Advertised sales price may not be available in some states. Offer ends 8/31/21.
The summer of can is here. And since we finally can, let's make it a premium summer. fancy sausage at the barbecue, a full theater for camping, a fully gold bathing suit at the pool. Because Heineken is made with premium malt and their famous A yeast. So go premium with the crisp, ice-cold can of Heineken. Pick up a pack or get it delivered and put the can back into summer. That can be your six-pack. Must be 21 or over to purchase. Please drink responsibly.
With RP Funding's digital mortgage, you can refinance your home loan to today's low rates from the comfort of your own home. Get started today and let me pay your closing costs. Lock in your low rate before it's too late. Visit rpfunding.com. NMLS 70168, Equal Housing Lender.
It gets hot in the summertime, and last year, I'm so glad I found Mills Air because they were able to switch out my old system for a Carrier system, and I saved so much money when it comes to my power bill. It is millsair.com. That's millsair.com. Have them check out your system, millsair.com.
This hour of programming brought to you in part by FAS Windows and Doors.
Love us while you got us. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Real Radio 1041. Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. The Jim Colbert Show returns now on Real Radio 104.1.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1 on this steamy, hot Monday afternoon during hurricane season here in Central Florida. Not that we need a hurricane. These afternoon storms are good enough to blow your socks off. Deb trying to get you motion sick if you're checking out the feed right now. This camera is unruly. It's just, it's just the biggest POS it ever was.
I'm not a fan of the design.
Great design.
With these web clips.
God, what a joke.
Well, they just
I know,
kind
they
of...
will design something so if one part of it even remotely gets loose, the entire thing doesn't work. That's a great design.
You want some tape or something?
407-916-1041. I think I need a more able co-host.
I think you need a millennial. Huh?
God. Whoa, dude.
She actually threw the $40 camera.
It's a $500 camera, I think.
I had the $500.
And it's donezo.
$1,000 camera.
Not on anymore.
Oh, it's off.
Oh, well.
It's broken.
Well, duct tape from your paycheck is fine. Figure that out. Oh, yeah, it's broke.
I can't think of a odder start to a 3:45 segment.
I think that's perfect. Destruction of equipment. I think that's fine. I don't have any problem with
where'd she go?
she did, and then she went into the basement.
She's hiding under the table.
All right, 407-916-1. There you are. Hi. It's okay, Deb. We'll fix it next break. I think the world's going to be okay not seeing me for 4 minutes. We'll better figure it out. All right, 407-916-1041. We have a short segment here coming up at the top of the hour. We have Jack's Olympic update. We'll get that, and then, of course, we'll have Brandon Kravitz at 4:20 today. Talk about Bobby Bowden's legacy, Orlando Magic, and some other fun stuff. NFL season starts here before you know it. I think this Thursday is the Hall of Fame Bowl or whatever it is, right? The first game. Is that this Thursday or next Thursday?
I think that already happened.
Was it last Thursday?
Yeah.
Oh, it was.
You're just joking?
Gin. No, I just said a bunch of gin. Whole bottle of Hendrix.
I was ginning.
You ever drank gin, man?
I have. It's
not your thing?
Not my thing. I've never had good gin that's is there such a thing as sipping gin, I'm assuming?
I don't know about sipping gin, but there is definitely gin that is more refined than other gin. We bought a pretty good bottle of gin. And the great thing is, from what we could see, the best stuff out there isn't that bad. It was like tequila for the longest time. You could buy the best bottle of tequila in the world for $100, as opposed to scotches that cost tens of thousands of dollars for incredibly good bottles. But even a good bottle of scotch is a couple $100.
I think I'm buying a nice bottle of tequila tonight.
Are you really?
Yeah.
And you can get away with that for $100, right?
Oh yeah, no, I think the bottle I'm getting is 70 or 75, but all the reviews are
incredible.
There's not much better.
Incredible. Yeah, but when you get some bourbon and scotches and wine, you can get up there in that big time dollars. But gin doesn't seem to be like that. And it's not the reason. It's just a crisp summer thing. I just get so sick and tired of drinking beer.
I'm
exhausted on beer right now.
This whole weekend I've been drinking beer, and I feel like I have twins.
It's weird. I don't eat as much.
I'm pregnant.
I eat less than I've ever eaten in my life, but I'm not losing weight because I drink beer.
All right, it's a nice little trade-off.
It's not, though.
I'm perpetually hungry, but I am messed up.
The emptiest calories, and the worst is I'm drinking these, huge IPAs. and they have just massive calorie counts, like a couple hundred, 240 calories a can. That's like having a dessert when you eat 2 of them. Or you drink 2 of them.
Yeah.
And you basically have to chew them, so it is like eating.
I was talking to a lot of people down in Key West, and they drink because that's
what you do there. You move there to drink yourself to death.
I'm pretty
It's
sure
like leaving Key West.
You ain't wrong.
They
Right,
pour
and
Bud
flip-flops.
Light over Lucky Charms.
Yeah, dude, they don't-
like that's their cereal.
Yeah, Bloody
And,
Mary's a night drink there.
But yeah, it's so odd. Of like, man, you guys really you moved down here to bike and drink. I met 2 people with DUIs on bikes.
Bicycles. Oh yeah, I think isn't it required to get into Key West? You have to have a
think so.
DUI on a bicycle or a horse, or
Lawnmower?
or one of those lawnmowers, or maybe one of those scooter things.
I'll definitely give you guys your Key West update for Ross Thoughts today
Right
at
on.
6.
Also, I have a really funny Ken Miller story, and I'm trying to debate whether or not I should get Ken on the phone while I tell the story, but I don't think I want to do that because I don't want him interrupting. And I think he's going to want to jump in there and interrupt. I don't want him to do that. So I hope he's listening. I know he is today. I will do that. Jack, what's coming up for the old Olympic update, buddy?
Gonna wrap it up. You know, the not only the final weekend, but I'm gonna go through some of my favorite moments of the games watched every night. Would continue to watch if it was still on. I love watching this stuff, and just going to wrap up what I saw.
All right, good. So we'll get that. Plus, we'll get a final medal count and all the other fun stuff next here on the Jim Colbert Show.
It'll take 18 days.
The world's leading specialist at something that's probably amazing
You just say words,
to somebody.
and you hope at the end of the sentence they make sense.
Real Radio 104.1.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center. Car crash? Call Clausman Law.
We're seeing stop-and-go volume now heading west on I-4 between Sand Lake Road and Central Florida Parkway. It's also heavy, too, between World Drive and 429. Eastbound solid now between Osceola Parkway and State Road 535. We're seeing slow traffic, too, between Conroy Road and OBT and also between Fairbanks Avenue and Lee Road. 417 still up to speed. See traffic problems? Call the SafeTouchSecurity.com traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Paige Carrera.
This report is sponsored by Amtrak. Amtrak. Whether you're craving a breath of fresh mountain air, an exciting new adventure, or just some free babysitting from Grandma, Amtrak can get you there. With more than 500 destinations across the country. Everything you're missing, just an Amtrak away.
Listen, man, do you experience red, itchy, and often burning sensations in your eyes when you wear your contact lenses? Well, you could be a sufferer of contact lens intolerance, also known as CLI. And CLI symptoms are more common than you think. You know, many people experience eye pain and discomfort for years before they discover the issue. The good thing is, the Filatowski Eye Institute can help. They are recognized leaders in vision correction surgery, and the Filatowski Eye Institute will help identify your issue and even better, recommend the best option for you. And it's easy. Just simply text 1041 to 868686 right now. Schedule that free vision correction consultation. Again, that's 1041 to 868686.
Live music is back at our 2021 iHeartRadio Music Festival, September 17th and 18th at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Listen every weekday to win your way to this ultimate once-in-a-lifetime experience and win $1,000.
Your chance to text in and win happens at 9 a.m., 1 p.m., and 5 p.m. each weekday on Real Radio 104.1. This contest sponsored locally on Real Radio 104.1 by Mills Air.
In business since 1992, Mills Air here in Central Florida for over 28 years. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer, performs service on all brands. Preventative maintenance saves you money and can detect an upcoming breakdown. Visit our website, millsair.com.
At Off Lease Only, they know shoppers are looking for a nearly new car that fits their budget and lifestyle. So why spend time and energy haggling when you can shop with Off Lease Only to not only save time, but save thousands below retail on your next car, truck, SUV, or van? With Off Lease Only, they want their customers to leave the stress behind and find peace of mind with no haggling, no negotiating, no pressure, and no hidden fees. Don't pay more. Choose from fresh inventory that is arriving daily, and your trade-in is wanted. It has never been a better time to trade in and trade up. Financing is available for good and bad credit. Get pre-qualified online now at offleaseonly.com. Shop online at offleaseonly.com or call 407-222-CARS or take a test drive at their massive state-of-the-art location just off the beach line at Narcoossee and McCoy. Your next car is waiting for you right now at offleaseonly.com.
The heat is on. That means the highest power bills of the year are on the way. It's time to smile when you see your power bill.
I smile because I save $300 a month on my power bill.
I smile because I'm saving my environment with a sustainable power choice.
We smile because we chose Solar Source.
Don't let another summer power bill pass you by. Get your free savings estimate today from Solar Source with next day appointments available. Visit solarsource.com. Now, when it comes to power, trust the source. Solar Source.
Get ready. Saving starts with Xfinity. Because when you get Xfinity Internet and mobile together, you can save up to $400 a year on your wireless bill. Enjoy fast, reliable internet at home and nationwide 5G on the go, included at no extra cost. That means you can connect to everything you love, whether you're a next-level gaming aficionado, an online shopping mastermind, or crushing that research project. So go ahead, stream on all your devices or video chat from anywhere and save hundreds while doing it, because saving starts with Xfinity. Get Xfinity Internet for $20 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Plus, add Xfinity Mobile and ask how to get an eligible 5G phone on us. And for a limited time, $300 back. Don't miss out. Go to Xfinity.com/start saving. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Internet offer ends 9/7/21 and requires paperless billing and autopay. Restrictions apply. New performance starter internet customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Savings based on optimized pricing. Actual savings may vary.
If you're from Orlando, you know how we do food in the City Beautiful. We waffle our chicken in Metro Diner, udon our noodles at Bento Asian Kitchen, and ye can always find the golden tenders at PDQ. That's why there's DoorDash. Get food from every neighborhood in Orlando. Food so good, it'll make you happier than that other happy place in town. Download the DoorDash app now to find your local favorites, made by Orlando. Order on DoorDash.
Start summering with Dunkin's new Sunrise Batch Hot or Iced Coffee. A bright and balanced full-body blend that's sourced from Kenya and Latin America. Make the most of your summer days with a cup of Dunkin's Sunrise Batch. America runs on Dunkin'. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer.
Duke Energy is ready to help you through this year's hurricane season. We're investing in a stronger, more resilient grid to help reduce and even prevent outages. And when storms strike, Duke Energy will be there to get the power back on as safely and quickly as possible, while keeping you informed. It's all part of building a smarter energy future. Paid for by Duke Energy shareholders.
Any legal issue, Kramer Law, onefirmforlife.com. Offices Altamont Springs.
Broadcasting live from the personal injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studio. Car accidents, other injuries, call pound 546 from your cell or visit whenyouneedus.com. You're listening to WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Available everywhere with the iHeartRadio app. Now #1 for podcasting. We are an iHeartRadio station. We now return to the Jim Colbert Show.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1, 407-916-1041. You can tune into Facebook and watch my boobs.
Yeah,
well, I can't get this camera to work, so basically you get to see my mouth and my chin and then my sweet boobs.
Wasn't that something about an inept co-host?
Yeah. I didn't say that I wasn't. I just said you were then. I should break it now just for fun.
I know.
All right, 407-916-1041. Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show. I'm the Jim Part. Deb and Jack and Ross are here. Let's get some Olympic updates. Jack has it for you now. I like this ominous music. It's weird. At first, it sounds like the gladiators are marching in, but I guess it's probably what it was.
It is. Well, and I think this is John Williams who did this back in the 70s. Yeah,
he wrote everything.
Yeah. But every time I hear it, I get psyched. It's just, when they're showing it, there's something different about sports when you're hearing this music, when they're rejoining programming. And shout out, I enjoyed the Olympics. I know ratings were way down.
Or they really ain't.
Yep. Obviously, no people in the stands, but overall, going into it, there was a lot of concern was, will they be able to pull it off? And actually, they did a pretty good job as far as with all the testing and the amount of positivity. It was like a 0.02 positivity rate, so they were able to actually, control it through masking and frequent testing.
Yeah, they only had a few little situations.
That sucks, though, to be that one athlete.
Yeah. Well, we lost a pole vaulter, U.S. pole vaulter.
Right,
we lost because of COVID.
Okay, but alive.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. He wasn't able to compete.
Language is so important right now.
We lost.
You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. But what I wanted to do, and I wanted to give a shout out to the American women who have kicked ass in this Olympics. And, of course, the rejoin we had was Springsteen born in the USA. That's because his daughter, Jessica Springsteen, ended up medaling in equestrian events, which is always what's neat about the equestrian the logistics of getting your horses there. Somewhere around the world, and then they have to acclimate. And
they fly them in. It costs a lot of money to get them there. I read a big story about that 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
how crazy that was.
Not a poor person's sport.
No, it's not.
No, but women team sports. How about this? Indoor volleyball. First gold for U.S. women ever. Beach volleyball, they got it. Water polo, 3x3 basketball, 5x5 basketball. Man, and the U.S. women's basketball team, shout out to them, 7 straight golds. Going back to 1996 in Atlanta, they have won the gold every single time. And Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi, who have each won now 5 straight gold.
Damn.
Here is Taurasi.
There's always a lot of pressure when you put this jersey on to play at a high level and to make sure we bring home the gold. So I'm really happy for this group. I'm really happy for, the things that we were able to do.
Yeah, it was outstanding. Men's team also won. Congratulations to them. They beat France second time around to get the gold. And Kevin Durant in his 3rd Olympics gets another gold, which is awesome. In sports, there's an expression of next man up. When one person goes down, they say, all right, it's an opportunity.
In team sports, for sure.
In team sports, yeah, it's an opportunity for someone else. In Team USA Gymnastics, it was next woman up when Simone Biles stepped back. Jade Carey, Michaela Skinner, Suni Lee all stepped up. And every member of Team USA ended up medaling, including, and
in the individuals?
Yep. And Michaela, or at least either getting a team medal or an individual. So everyone gets a medal. But Michaela Skinner was a backup last time, never got to compete. Looked like was not going to get to compete, was about to fly home, and then Simone Biles backs up, opened the door for Michaela Skinner as well, as well as Suni. Yeah, and Michaela Skinner ends up getting a silver on the vault. So she gets to realize at 24, realize her Olympic dream. She had COVID a year ago.
And more than likely her last Olympics. The next summer opportunity would be, at 28 years old. That's just really kind of unheard of.
Absolutely.
I mean, I know there are some older athletes in there, but I mean, for medaling, it gets more and more difficult as you get older.
Right. Unless you want to do like shooting or something.
Right.
Man, I watched some of the Olympics, and I just remember, I believe the Chinese girl who finished first when Simone finished. I thought it was like, yo, that is a 10-year-old. They keep You weigh 80 pounds.
Yeah. No, so here's the deal. In gymnastics, you have to be 16. It's 14 in diving. And the Chinese diver who you have to turn 14 by the end of the year that you compete. She had so many 10s. She, I think, broke a record. It was phenomenal.
Oh, really? Well, you just float down.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, you straighten yourself up so you don't make a splash.
Yeah, man. You just Forrest Gump feather your way down into the water.
It was absolutely amazing. It was absolutely
The diving
amazing.
thing is crazy. They're up there like 20 meters. And
I
they
love it.
Like flip.
Yeah.
That's them going in the water. Like, know nothing. Yeah. Like, if you looked at the water 3 seconds after they went in, you wouldn't even know anything happened.
Uh-huh. Yeah. But, Jim, you mentioned Suni Lee also steps up, gets a goal. And congratulations, Simone Biles fights back, gets back on the beam, ends up medaling, which is was a really meaningful moment
she'll
for
have
her.
some other color to break up all that gold in her collection.
Yeah. In ladies, and she also has silver as well. So in ladies, shined in track and field, even without speedster Sha'Carri Richardson.
Mm-hmm.
Like going into the games, that's what we were talking about a lot. But, the ladies did fine without
Next girl
her.
up, right?
Thing Mo from New Jersey cruising to victory in the women's 800. Sydney McLaughlin and Delia Muhammad battling out in the 400-meter hurdles. It was just so much fun to watch. Katie Najat got gold in the pole vault. What I love about the pole vault is the trip down. So you watch them do the pole vault when they get up, and then once they clear, it's like they have that moment they're floating down to the mat, falling.
Yeah, like a 1 second.
But celebrating.
They give fist bumps.
But my favorite thing is watching them after they clear, how they handle that trip down.
Because they can look at the pole and see if it fell. So if they look up after clearing, they know whether or not they won or not. I mean,
absolutely.
You're right. That is kind of cool.
Yeah, it was pretty
They
neat.
also had a female wrestler that won gold, didn't they?
Absolutely. Yeah. And, I had her name right here.
Yeah, I didn't mean to fast forward you there, but I just remember that happened.
No, outstanding work by that. But finally in track and Molly Seidel. I don't know if you saw this. I think it was her third or fourth marathon ever. Competed in the marathon. You know, the full 26 miles.
26.2, right?
Yeah.
Oh God.
In third. And they show you the last half hour of it, and she was running third, and she finishes third. She gets the bronze medal for USA in her third or fourth marathon ever. And that
I didn't even think they let anybody other than Kenyans even enter the marathon because they can run it like an hour.
Well, she passed one because all they were talking about was the heat and the humidity. It's quite similar to Orlando weather, as far as we know. But what was interesting is after that, they do the Microsoft Teams was a sponsor, but they did these because you had these watch parties at home. So what you did have this year that you did in another year, other Olympics, was the viewing parties of them showing people at home watching and celebrating. Then they did these Teams call. And hers, some of them were awkward. They didn't realize, you can hear each other, and they're just watching each other cry. And, but on hers, it was neat because she just talked to them and she said, someone drink a beer for me. There's a sponsorship waiting for her.
Oh, yeah, for sure, yeah.
I don't know if she weighs like about a $1.05. And
this actually may be the best possible time for Olympians because they're able to make money on social.
Yeah.
And we talked about this last week before. There are only a few Olympians that really ever made money at this. I mean, if you were the decathlete, if you were one of the number one, the top gymnast, you could make money as an Olympic athlete. But outside of that, a few corporate events, but no major sponsorships. But man, that is changing dramatically for these athletes with social media. They can pick up sponsorships like that little thing for the Miami guy that we were talking. That same thing. You can have an archer, do an entire thing for an archery company that would never spend money on TV advertisements because the demo's too small. But on social media, when you have people already following her for archery or him for archery, you can actually sell something through that. So good for them. I'm glad this is going to work out. Those athletes are going to finally make up some cash. It's good.
I think you're also going to see Allison Felix probably getting more endorsement deals because she her first Olympics was in 2004 in Greece, finished in Tokyo with the most track and field medals for any U.S. track and field athlete. She passed Carl Lewis, who had 10 medals, with her 11th medal.
Yeah, crazy.
Allison Felix.
That's so special. I mean, no one's ever going to be better than Carl Lewis, but just to be held in that regard is just really special. So many people came before me, paved the way, and inspired me, and I just feel privileged to be able to hopefully inspire some other athletes coming up.
Hers was the name I saw the entire weekend. Allison Felix is all you read over and over.
That was the main story. So NBC, in covering it, they try and create the stories that you're going to emotionally connect to, that you want to tune in to see. I think hers was the biggest one for track and field after, Simone Biles was for gymnastics. So they're trying to kind of engage people to watch, and and it's been a challenge because they've been losing viewers.
Also the ability to view back in the day was way different. Now with streaming, there's so many weird options now. Back in the day before, cable companies really were fighting for their lives against streaming services. You don't know what has what. If I don't have a certain app, I can't watch it. Or if I don't have Peacock, or it was so bananas just even trying to isolate what was being aired where.
I finally downloaded Peacock, and I wish I did it sooner because one of the highlights was the coverage of Kevin Hart and Snoop Dogg. If you watched, we went back, my wife and I started watching a couple of them. We were laughing every time.
They were calling what just all sports, right? They were just
they did. It was like every 2 days they do. It was a 30-minute Olympic show. They went over highlights. They did interviews with people like Randall Cunningham, whose daughter was a high jumper.
Wow, really?
Competing. He's her
quarterback.
coach.
I'll be damned.
Yeah, he's her coach. And it was it was a lot of fun. They also did a demonstration for handball. Shout out to Mike Tirico calling out the U.S. He's saying, this is one of the most fun games to watch. It's like gym class handball, right?
Yeah.
And the U.S. didn't field a team. The summer games are in France in 3 years. 4 years after that, in 2028, they're in Los Angeles. And he challenged Americans to get a team on handball to play, to compete in Los Angeles in 2028.
Whoa.
And I think we can do it.
Yeah, what are you guys doing in 2028? We can. I got some hand dye. Jim's got some hand dye. Deb, you got this.
I have no knees, and I'm virtually certain the beginnings of cirrhosis. So it's gonna be difficult for me to.
Well, that's fine. Scoliosis isn't that bad when it comes.
Cirrhosis.
You don't have scoliosis?
No.
All right. No. Oh, wow.
Replacing Bob Costas was Mike Tirico. Did a fantastic job. Also on the daytime or the nighttime coverage was Rebecca Lowe. She does a lot of soccer coverage, but this is one of my favorite highlights.
Coming up, controversy at rhythmic gymnastics, and one of the biggest upsets of the games. Stay with us for that.
It wasn't. It was the way she says controversy.
An upset in rhythmic gymnastics.
Yeah,
the sport will never be the same.
Well, it was actually two Russians totally expected to win, and it was an Israeli athlete who actually took gold. But I just love the way she says controversy.
Yeah.
Controversy.
And finally, your final medal count. And I should not care about this as much as I do, but God, I love it. It was on the last day we finally beat China for gold. We have 39 gold to their 38.
Oh, man.
And 113 total medals to their 88. It shouldn't be about that, but guess what? It is. It's why we keep score. It's why we hand these things out.
Jack,
and we beat China.
Jack, now you understand why I want winners in those contests.
Yeah.
Now you understand. Same thing.
Oh, I understand that. And that is your final Olympic update.
And by the way, handball's stupid.
Yeah.
We should not have a team playing handball.
Did you watch it?
It's like a cross between basketball and soccer, and it's dumb. Do not build an American team. It is not worthy of Americans even becoming remotely good at this.
Oh.
It is a dumb sport.
Shame.
Do not do it. Do not follow Mike Tirica's advice.
Are you saying Americans can't compete?
I'm not saying they shouldn't, is what I'm saying. It's a bad look for the country to even send a team to play that dopey sport. Do not do it.
We had Americans dancing on horses.
You might as well have yard darts as a sport. It's the same. It's stupid.
I'm down with that, too.
This looks like something you would create for a movie, like that basketball thing that the guys from South Park created just to make a movie. That's what that looks like. It is a dumb combination of two sports.
And here's the deal. Thankfully, we earned enough gold to beat China, because if we didn't, I was calling out Puerto Rico, who competes on their own, got a gold. And so it's not American gold. It's Puerto Rico.
Wait a minute.
I still have a problem. You want statehood?
Wait a minute.
You want statehood? Guess what? Turn your medals over to us.
All right, 407-916-1041. Brandon Kravitz with sports up next.
You text us at 77031 and we say it on the air. Sometimes. We might even give you credit. Standard data and message rates apply. Real Mobile is powered by Orange Buick GMC and OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center, shop the rest. Buy from the best. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Heavy delays from a crash eastbound on I-4 between Kirkman Road and the Turnpike taking up the left lane. It's also solid between Osceola Parkway and State Road 535. We're stop and go westbound too between Sand Lake Road and Central Florida Parkway, and also between World Drive and 429. The 408 is accident-free as well as the beach line at this time. See traffic problems? Call the SafeTouchSecurity.com traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Paige Carrera.
This report is sponsored by Amtrak. Amtrak. Whether you're craving a breath of fresh mountain air, an exciting new adventure, or just some free babysitting from Grandma, Amtrak can get you there. With more than 500 destinations across the country, everything you're missing just an Amtrak away.
Guys, when I think about the friends over at Mossy Oak Fence, I think about high quality. That means the skilled craftsmen at Mossy Oak Fence use only the very best materials, high quality that's backed by the best warranty in the business. But I also think about sensibility because the cool guys over at Mossy Oak Fence offer affordable payment plans as well. But I really think about safety and security because your family's safety and security is Mossy Oak's #1 priority. So look, if you're thinking about a new fence, you got to think Mossy Oak Fences. Simply visit mossyoakfences.com for the fence of your dreams. And as always, let the Mossy family protect your family today.
Win your way to our 2021 iHeartRadio Music Festival, September 17th and 18th in Las Vegas. And win $1,000. You'll see
Billie Eilish,
Cheap Trick,
Coldplay,
Dua Lipa,
Florida Georgia Line,
J. Cole,
Journey,
Khalid,
Lil Baby,
Maroon 5,
Nelly,
Sam Hunt,
Weezer, a special guest performance by Phineas,
and more on the T-Mobile Arena stage in Las Vegas. Listen every weekday to win your way there and win $1,000.
You know, guys, that doorbell company out there that everybody knows, at it again. This time, they're sharing your internet with your neighbors. Sounds right. Sounds good. Huh? Even better, there's no way for you to know which neighbors that is. Some internet providers can even flag your account because that could violate your internet agreement. Allowing strangers to connect to your internet is inherently risky. And, of course, sharing your internet connection could pose a giant risk that people hack your data. You don't want to do that. All that banking, all that information going back and forth across your Wi-Fi, they can hack right into that. That's why smart shoppers only use SafeTouch Security, because a SafeTouch system assures you complete peace of mind that you have the best security available. Even your cameras are protected by a SafeTouch system. Matter of fact, with that SafeTouch system, not only can you get the fastest possible emergency response, you have complete control over your system, your cameras, and your internet. And they start as low as $29.95. You can't lose. Call for that free demo and consultation today. I know that you will be duly impressed. Again, that's safetouch.com. State license EF233.
There are 16 spots in the playoffs and just one track left. Well, not just any track. Daytona. A last chance to keep playoff hopes alive. It's time to bring your friends and family to watch the drama unfold up close and in person. NASCAR comes to Daytona International Speedway August 27th and 28th. Tickets start at just $49. Get yours at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
Make the most of your investments. Certified Financial Group. Call pound 250 keyword certified planner.
Hello, Florida. Switching to Geico is a good idea, especially when you consider everything.
First off, Geico makes it easy to switch, and you can contact your local agent for personalized assistance.
But if it's so easy, you might start thinking everything is easy, even big wave surfing. And it's not. It's actually quite difficult.
Well, if you switch to Geico, you could save hundreds on car insurance, and you could keep saving by bundling your motorcycle, boat, and RV, plus your renter's insurance.
But saving money might lead you to make some questionable purchases, like a 20-foot feather boa. And do you know how hard it is to clean a 20-foot feather boa?
Well, they do have an industry-leading mobile app you can use to pay your bill, file and manage a claim, or add a new driver.
But when life gets a little easier, it makes you too confident, and you start calling everyone Ace. And you're better than that.
Well, Geico has a 97% customer satisfaction rating and has been saving people money for 85 years. It's hard to beat that.
But you're right.
Switch to Geico. It's obviously a good idea.
When you owe the IRS or state sales tax and can't pay, call J. David Tax Law for effective tax help. J. David Tax Law can stop IRS or state collection actions and protect you from financial ruin. Call J. David Tax Law for a no-cost consultation at 407-603-3962. That's 407-603-3962 or at jdavidtaxlaw.com. Peace of mind is only a click or phone call away.
The heat is on. That means the highest power bills of the year are on the way. It's time to smile when you see your power bill.
I smile because I save $300 a month on my power bill.
I smile because I'm saving my environment with a sustainable power choice.
We smile because we chose Solar Source.
Don't let another summer power bill pass you by. Get your free savings estimate today from Solar Source with next day appointments available. Visit solarsource.com. Now, when it comes to power, trust the source. Solar Source.
Thousands of free playlists are being created now by people just like you on the free iHeart app. At iHeart, we think every mood and activity deserves a playlist, so we made it totally free for you to start creating your very own. Working out, chilling out, or maybe you're getting ready for tailgate season. We made it super easy. Start by searching for a song, or simply add a song you hear streaming on your favorite station like this one directly into a playlist, and we'll help with the other songs to finish it. Only on the free iHeart app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one.
If you believe that a loved one has been abused or neglected while living in a nursing home, call us. Morgan & Morgan.
Radio 104.1.
The Jim Colbert Show returns now on Real Radio 104.1.
DJ Jack Flash tearing it apart today with Kool and the Gang rejoins.
Wasn't it?
Founding member passes this past weekend, so we're showing our love to the 70s and 80s funk that is Kool and the Gang. Absolutely ruling radio play for decades. All right, 407-916-1041. Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show. I'm Jim. Deb and Jack and Ross are here as well. Every Monday around this time, we have our good friend Brandon Kravitz drop by from 96.9 The Game.
He almost busted a move. He almost.
To talk a little sports. BK, what is going on?
I bust no moves in this studio.
It was a little move.
Oh, wait, he busted one, but it was...
Yeah, it was an
You know,
I'm
going to complete honesty. I can still feel it in my knee. If I bend a certain way, yeah, I still feel this. It's just not right.
What
I
happened?
probably should have had it checked out by a doctor.
What happened?
But I didn't.
Oh, when you came in here and fell flat on your face?
Yeah, that
the
one.
OSHA violation of how you guys had the door propped open?
Yeah, Jimmy.
Yeah. There's a scar there. I'll show you when we go to commercial break.
Oh,
There's
man,
a
we should
scar.
pull the tape on that. Oh, wait a minute, there isn't any.
My-
Good luck with that lawsuit. Hey,
my
hope your knee gets better.
My pants are ripped.
Yeah, try a Band-Aid. Maybe it'll be better.
I
like how
happy belated birthday,
like
you
how Party
big baby.
Pooper Bradshaw's like, yeah, that OSHA violation that you guys had.
God, what a dick. Oh, you mean that thing that violated Series 4, Article 1 of your contract? I've got it right here, tattooed on the back of my neck.
It was bound to happen eventually. It was either going to be this or it was going to be something stupid that happened at the house. You know, and you get up to your mid to upper 30s, eventually things are just going to start hurting perpetually until the end of time.
Listen, I banged my already repaired knee coming back into the studio so I wouldn't be late for break, which is a giant mistake because now I think I ripped my MCL out. I'm virtually bone to bone on my left knee right now, and I'm trying to figure out how I can sue Jack for this.
Bone to bone, just gnawing out.
It's this tough life of radio talk.
Yeah. So we lost a legit legend this past weekend. NCAA Division I head coach Bobby Bowden of the Florida State Seminoles passed away this past weekend, 91 years old. And you and I were talking a little bit before the show in your studio. About how we were going to approach this segment today. I said a number of things about Coach Bowden that you and I were talking about, and I just realized I was such a big fan. I told the story earlier how we would rubber band the announcement, Mike and the old Winn-Dixie I worked for, to put the radio up against it so we could listen to FSU games on Friday nights.
Wow.
While we're sweeping the floor and cleaning up the store, because that was just part of my life. Deckerhoff calling those games, post-game interviews with Bobby Bowden. They could have won by 40, and he's still bitching about his defense, even giving up 10 points. He doesn't think they should have, using the word dadgummit way too much. And then all those other beautiful little Southern colloquialisms that kind of make Bobby Bowden who he was. But, and you and I were talking, and I got to tell you, man, Bobby Bowden made such an impact on the game because of who he was. I mean, yeah, he was a great coach, and that was just a plus, though, because you hear those former players, former coaches, former assistants, former administrators at the university, talking about what a great role model he was for the kids. And, you get the feeling that he never did it for the money, Brandon. It was so funny because you look at all the big Division I coaches now, all we hear about is guys hopping from schools. We've talked about a bunch. People leaving UC have to go into bigger and better jobs, as I put the quotations up in the air, as if it even is. But Bobby Bowden never gave you the thought that he was gonna hold out on his contract to get a better deal. He just loved coaching that football team.
Yeah, and he was well compensated. I was looking this up after we had that conversation. I'm like, what exactly was his salary structure? Because I don't remember talking about that ever.
Right. But that's weird because that's one of the few coaches at that level you never did.
Well, and I think that's just the kind of the way that it used to be. We talk about money in sports way more than we used to, especially with college coaches. I don't remember that being much of a discussion point back in the 90s or we were just focused on were you good?
Saban started that.
They've gotten up to the point where the highest paid coach is now Nick Saban just restructured his contract. He's close to $10 million. At the end of Bobby Bowden's run, he was making $2 million, which at the time was a lot. And now you're up to 10. When he was hired as a coach for Florida State, 1976, he became the head coach. His salary was $37,000 a year. So he did pretty well for himself.
I mean, if you get assistant linebacker coach that only deals with left-handers, they're going to make 50. If anybody attached to them.
Right.
I mean, the guy who cleans the helmets makes that much.
And you're right. That just wasn't really, it was never a thought of, well, is he going to leverage his deal?
Right.
I've got offers over here so that I can make more. And I think that was all part of his charm and the charm that has since left the world of college football. It's not just Bobby Bowden, but I do think, and I'm not saying this because he is the most recent to pass, he was the guy that embodied that character, the iconic nature of the dadgummit and all of that stuff. He had those qualities and those characteristics that are forever etched into your mind. Bear Bryant had it with the hat and his demeanor on the sideline. Howard Schnellenberger down in Miami. Steve Spurrier with the Florida Gators. There are these guys that are these larger-than-life characters, but in the same sense can connect with the individuals on their team and are the guy that you could picture. If you close your eyes and imagine these guys walking into your living room, those guys existed in the world of college football. Everybody that's a head coach now at the highest level, they feel like CEOs.
They really do.
And the world has changed.
They don't hit you like when we used to. I went to school with guys who went into Division I school, and they would tell you when they would talk to Coach Bowden, it was almost like he was doing a Yellowwood commercial. It was because one of those things. It was like it was a lot of that very hometown. We'd like you to come play here, son, because we think we can make you a better man. And blah, 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 blah,
and tell
blah.
the parents, I care about your child.
Exactly.
I'm going to take care of your boy.
And
those kind of things.
And I don't know if this is the single person who did it, but for me, when I started watching college football when I was in my early teens, I mean, he took college football from the Power I and Penn State and Nebraska and all those. Just get 7,000-pound linemen, put them up front, and then get a guy that can run, and then run the ball 3 out of 4 plays. And he took it to the wishbone, to the trick plays, blocking punts. He made special teams like a part of the offense almost. This guy changed the way you looked at college
Charlie
football.
Ward at quarterback. I mean, that was revolutionary.
Spread the field out where it wasn't like everybody's right there just grounding and pounding. I mean, he could do anything at any time. He made that game so much more fun to watch for me. That's
Absolutely.
why I fell in love with the
I
team.
completely agree. And the exact same thing. I was 12 years old when I was first really introduced to Florida State football. My sister is older than me. She took a visit to Florida State. She was checking out the campus. I went with her and my parents, and I went to a game and was immediately just intoxicated by the environment of it all, and then fell in love with Bobby Bowden, the personality, and all the things that we've discussed. And then I think more than anything else for me, but this is all the mark that he put on his team, there were a lot of winning teams in college football. Hell, there were a lot of winning teams in the state of Florida at that time. But I just loved the way that Florida State played. I loved the type of athletes that they had, the character, the pizzazz, the personality of the team. And you said it, the special teams and guys like Peter Warrick that would shine no matter where he was on the field. I loved that. I fell in love with every bit of it.
Then you got a guy as humble as Bobby having a player like Dion. And then learning how to kind of rein that in and let that guy do his thing and be his guy and then still kind of be Dion while he played for a team that was headed up by Bobby Bowden. I mean, he was just a special guy.
Yeah.
And I also said to you, we were talking a little bit beforehand, that he may be the last kind of ring in that old school college football coach glove. I mean, he may be that last real look at those old school. I come into your living room. If you're a good, if you're a top athlete, and talk to your parents and shake hands with your dad. He just kind of hits me as that last realm of that guy.
I was thinking about this earlier. Are there any other college coaches that fit that bill? And I can only really think of one that I thought was a great example. There are a couple of decent examples, but Ed Orgeron at LSU feels like one of those.
He's kind of like this guy. Yeah, I agree with that a little bit.
The type of coach that is excellent at what they do. So I'm not diminishing their ability as a college football coach, but they've got such a big personality.
Like they got
and
Tennessee.
they're so Southern that you can't picture them coaching in the NFL because no one would understand what the hell they're saying.
And get in a fight with half of
But
them.
in college it works. I think Ed Orgeron's the only one that I can think of. But even he, I mean, he's got controversy around his name. He's not a clean character.
No,
Bobby
exactly.
Bowden was.
Right, yeah.
He was a good old Christian boy,
He
and he
was.
carried that through his entire career. We're not going to see that again.
It's going to be tough
I
to
think
see
it's
that.
done.
Yeah, you know, and even in posthumously, he basically is asking for money to be given to Fellowship of Christian Athletes, which he sponsored and promoted his entire career. Let's move on. We had about 6 minutes here.
Can I give you one little stat that I think you would like, though? So
About Bobby?
Yeah, well, just about how many wins he had. 377 wins as a college football coach, 304 at FSU. For Nick Saban, as great as Nick Saban is, to catch Bobby Bowden, he would have to win a ton of games for the next 10 years to catch Bobby Bowden in overall wins. That's how much winning Bobby Bowden did in his college career.
Good Lord of mercy. That's crazy. You figure, I mean, you have a great season in college football is 10 wins, right?
I mean, for
10, 12 wins?
Yeah, for Nick Saban, it's 12-13.
Yeah, but
you add
that's
the
what
playoff games now.
But what I'm saying is, yeah, he even has more opportunity. It would still take him that long.
It would, yeah.
Right. I know that NFL starts soon. Let's talk a little bit about the Magic before we get there. I know the Magic had a really good draft. I think camp has already started. Preseason, not for a while, but camp has started, right?
So Summer League started last night for everybody else, and then the Magic play tonight at 8 o'clock. They play the Golden State Warriors, and Summer League games don't matter. They matter less than the preseason, and the preseason doesn't matter. So you have to take this with a super grain of salt, but it is your first look of real game action with the newcomers for the Orlando Magic. Jalen Suggs, who they drafted at 5, and Franz Wagner, who they drafted at 8. They're going to play alongside guys like Cole Anthony, who we got a taste of last year, and R.J. Hampton, who they got in that trade when they sent Aaron Gordon to Denver. So it's a lot of young talent that you're going to see out there tonight for the Magic.
That Cole Anthony should speak for the team every time.
Oh, he's amazing.
They should just say nobody else has to do interviews. We got our guy Cole. Get out there. Let him know.
So much personality.
I don't care if he scores 3 points a game, I'll still buy his jersey just because he's got that good personality.
So all of the guys that were drafted ahead of Jalen Suggs already played. They played yesterday, and they all look amazing.
Did
So
they really?
the pressure is on for Jalen Suggs to be that guy too.
You just said it doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything, but I just want to feel better.
You can't have these guys throwing up massive numbers against Chops.
I'm not saying I'm putting these guys in the Hall of Fame because of what they did last night, but they all looked really good, and so I would like to see Jalen Suggs follow suit.
All right, NFL starts soon. I know everybody is on the edge of their seat waiting for the season to get here. Even though we have a massive influx of COVID coming, I still think people are still see themselves filling up Wing House and Twin Peaks and all the local stomps to drink beer and eat wings and watch football.
I'm so torn up about that because I want to see the packed stadiums. I want bars to be able to make money. I want people to be able to go back to normal. I mean, obviously we're going down a different rabbit hole there, but I hope that we can wrangle this a little bit more by the time we really get to the heart of football season.
We have some time. I think it'll work out just fine. In Florida, you have the governor. He's good. You can matter of fact, they may build more stadiums and get more people in there.
The Chiefs will come play here.
And make them sit closer. Who knows, right? So I know that you do a special thing with the NFL, kind of a projection thing of what you think is coming up. Give us a compacted version of what you think is going to happen this year.
So I have my football awards. I call them the footballies. You get your ESPYs, your Grammys. I give the footballies that I award different players and teams and coaches in advance of the season, because I'm not going to do this post-season awards stuff. I'm a prognosticator. I'm going to tell you what happens before it happens. I'll give you a couple.
That my fiance, that's what she calls football.
The footballies?
The footballies.
Yeah.
Are you watching the footballies?
That's right.
That's great.
I'm trying to identify with as many people as I can.
I think it's working.
Stretch the demo.
Big net.
So I'm going to go Coach of the Year. I've nominated Bill Belichick, who has won this award 3 times, but he hasn't won since 2010. All he has to do is have a really above-average season,
9
and I think
wins.
people are really going to almost give him like an honorary award. So Bill Belichick, I've got winning Coach of the Year. Most likely to get fired this year, I'm going to give that distinction to Cliff Kingsbury of the Arizona Cardinals. He's got a superstar quarterback. They got J.J. Watt in the offseason over in Arizona. The problem is, as talented as that team is, they're in the toughest division in the NFL by a decent margin. They're going up against Seattle twice a year, the 49ers, and the Rams, and all of those teams are really, really good. So if the Cardinals don't meet expectation, they finish 3rd or even 4th in the division, I think he's out. Bounce back player of the year, Christian McCaffrey. How quickly we forget about the dynamic Christian McCaffrey. Now, Dak Prescott basically just has to fall out of bed and not get hurt to actually win this award.
Right.
But if he falls short of that, Christian McCaffrey should be the guy that's able to obtain this one, and I say that he will. We forget, in 2019, he set a record for accounting for 43% of his team's entire offense. One person.
That's insane.
From impress to regress. So this is a team that we fell in love with last year and was really, really good, and I think they're going to take a pretty significant step back. The Buffalo Bills. They won 13 games last year.
Wow, that's wild. You're the only person saying that. Everybody I've talked to thinks the Bills are going to be brutally good again this year.
It's just something that feels like last year was a bit of an outlier. Josh Allen almost took too big a step forward for me to believe that that's just the guy he is now.
Oh, wow,
he went
really?
from one of the more inaccurate passers in the NFL to not towards the top of the list. He was at the top of the list. He was the most accurate passer in the NFL last year. There's just something fluky
you don't
about
believe
it.
that's him. You think that was just a fluke? It's just a one-off?
I think that he took such a massive step forward. I think he takes a step back, and they'll still be good. They won 13 games last year. If they win 10 this year, then that'll be a step back for them. I have them right around that range.
All right,
it's
one
a really
more.
good division too. The Patriots, the Dolphins.
Yeah,
they're both really, really good. All right, I'm going to give you the. I'll give you the accountant. This is the boring team that's still going to win a lot of games. I'll give you the Washington football team as the one. First of all, they don't have a team name, so they're already boring because of that.
All right.
They've got a really good defense. Chase Young, who was the second overall pick a year ago, is a sack master. Their defense is really good. And guess who their quarterback is? Ryan Fitzpatrick.
There you
I am
go.
tired of watching that guy play quarterback.
They got Fitz back.
So
this guy just go. You know what he should do? Just get an RV and just sit in the parking lot and wait for the phone to ring, and then just drive to wherever
it's
they say.
amazing. When he's I'm leaving Miami because I want a starting opportunity. I laughed at the guy. I'm like, you're not getting it. And Washington gave it to him. It's crazy.
Okay. All right. Thanks, man. Always good seeing you.
You got it. This segment brought to you by Certified Financial Group. They've got 12 certified financial planners on your side, all under one roof. Their mission, their standard is to put you first. So if you're ready for a second opinion, visit them online, financialgroup.com, or you can dial pound 250, say the keyword certified planner, and start planning for tomorrow. Today, if you want to catch that entire list, by the way, you can go to 969thegame.com in the Zone section where I have the full list posted.
You got it. And you can see the whole thing right there. Also, follow you on Twitter. How?
At Brandon Kravitz, which Twitter, Instagram, and my now famous TikTok, thanks to Ross Padgett,
That's right.
who
You
has
get
been
to-
my TikTok manager.
Your TikTok mentor.
My TikTok, my last two, over 20,000 views, which
Good for
is
you.
insane for somebody that had 14 followers a week ago.
All right. At Brandon Kravitz, or is it Brandon _?
No, it's at Brandon Kravitz.
There you
no
go.
underscore needed.
Super easy to find. Thanks, BK. Good
got
to see you,
it.
bud. All right, 407-916-1041. Back with more of the Jim Colbert Show right after this.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7. It's a corporate time with Tom and Dan, brought to you by Gringos Locos and SecuredRoofingAndRestoration.com. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James, Miguel, Mikey, and Ken. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
Hey everybody, good Monday to you. Fox 35 Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Jamie King, and now Fox 35 Storm Center with a forecast update for today. Hot and steamy, going about 93. Heat index at around 102 to 103 by this afternoon. Very high humidity. We've got a lot of sunshine early, though clouds will continue to increase into the heart of the afternoon. And after about 1 or 2 o'clock, 50% of you seeing some showers and storms popping around. 75 tonight, an early evening shower or storm before sundown. Then things are partly cloudy, warm and muggy through the late overnight with light winds in play again. Mid-70s for you for wake-up temps by tomorrow, Tuesday. For Fox 35, I'm Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Jamie King. Take care.
This report is sponsored by Smart Mouth, the only 24-hour mouthwash with twice daily use. Opening back up. You check the news, you check with your friends, you check your mask. But wait, did you check your breath? Get Smart Mouth, the only mouthwash that provides 24 hours of fresh breath with just 2 rinses a day. Find Smart Mouth in the mouthwash aisle at Walgreens, or get 20% off at smartmouth.com/radio.
And you know what's great? You can actually get a really, really nice bathroom remodel or rebuild. It won't cost you a fortune, and it can happen in just about a week or so. How's that, man? You know, it's not a contractor company that you have a problem with those guys sometimes. You'll hire them, give them a deposit, and like, man, we're on the road. This is going to be great. Our new bathroom is going to be here in no time. Next thing you know, you don't see these guys for 3 weeks. Then when they do show up, they do like an hour or 2 hours worth of work and then disappear again for a week or two. Your job takes 2 months. You don't even know who's going to show up to your house every day. And everybody out there listening to this who's dealt with that knows exactly what I'm talking about. The great thing is Rebath can end all of that. And they can do it simply by giving you great service every time. They do it with their employees. They do it in just a few days. And you get access to some of the nicest products in the world. Really just beautiful stuff out there. 436 in Altamont, right across from Kobe in Altamont. That is where their showroom is. Slide in. Look at those models, man. That's just an idea of what they can do. They design with you your brand new bathroom, and then they install it, and you are going to love it. I promise. Hop online today, rebathmidfla.com. Look at those before and afters, man. That can happen in your home. Give them a call. Give them a chance. These guys will really impress you. It's rebathmidfla.com.
Need to turn your home equity into cash? This is Robert Palmer, and home values are at an all-time high. Smart homeowners are accessing home equity at today's low rates, but don't use your home equity to pay closing costs. Let me pay them instead. Visit rpfunding.com for details. NMLS 70168, Equal Housing.
Hey Orlando, this is Paul Anka for PDQ.
PDQ from start to closing, afternoon to night. Made to order, never frozen, with love in every bite. Quality that's fast and fresh, that's our pledge to you. For chicken just made so much better, count on PDQ.
Up early or up late, Amscot cashes most types of checks, day or night, for lower fees than most places. And with more 24-hour locations than ever, count on us anytime, every time. Amscot.
My crusade for the perfect pizza crust has led me here, pining over a backyard wood-fired oven. But how do I bake this build into my budget? Where can I get some solid guidance on my finances? Who can help me understand if I have the dough for this?
A little financial advice. At Regions, we know that's important because your Life Green checking account comes with Greenprint, financial planning with a banker who will help you create a personal budget and live in the moment. Make your appointment at regions.com/Greenprint. Regions Bank, member FDIC.
O'Reilly! When you need auto parts, O'ReillyAuto.com is just a few clicks away. We offer convenient options for you to get your parts quickly. Order online and pick up for free at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store. We'll even bring it out curbside. Or you can have your parts delivered right to your door with free shipping on most orders over $35. Visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly! Auto Parts. I want to break free.
Ready to break free? Norwegian Cruise Line is back and sailing this summer. Kick back in the Caribbean or take in the stunning sights in Europe. And with our robust health and safety program, you can cruise confidently. Book today and enjoy 30% off all cruises, free open bar, free airfare, and more. Visit ncl.com, call your travel advisor, or 1-888-NCL-CRUISE. Offer ends soon. Norwegian Cruise Line. Sail safe, feel free.
Ships registry the Bahamas and USA. Restrictions apply.
No matter the challenges, we were there with a stronger, more reliable energy grid.
When our communities struggled, we were there with flexible payment arrangements and other support.
And as the sun comes out, bringing the promise of a brighter tomorrow, we will still be here.
With energy that's reliable, affordable, and cleaner than ever, we're Duke Energy, and we're building a smarter energy future for you.
Paid for by Duke Energy shareholders.
A SunTrust checking account lets you stay on top of your money and help it grow. Plant the seeds for your goals with access to financial resources and tools. Keep an eye on your spending, hedging and managing it by setting limits on our mobile app. And rake in cash back on debit card purchases from your favorite retailers with SunTrust deals. With all the right tools, your account can blossom. Open an account today at suntrust.com/checking. Must have online banking to participate in SunTrust deals. SunTrust, now Truist. Member FDIC.
This hour of programming brought to you in part by FAS Windows and Doors.
Now that we've all quit Facebook and started talking to each other again. What's that? Nobody's quit Facebook? Facebook.com/Real Radio Orlando. Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. We now return to the Jim Colbert Show.
Hey, welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1. Thanks so much for tuning in today. We appreciate that very, very much. Hope you had a great weekend this weekend. I know we did. A little long one. It was nice.
Yeah.
A little camping over at Jetty Park this weekend. It was wonderful. I am Jim. Deb is here.
Hello.
Jack is right there. Yeah. And, of course, Ross is here as well. We'll hear about the Key West trip in Ross Thoughts today. Also, I have a funny story to tell you a little bit later in the program as well. Stephen Kramer coming up today. All kinds of fun stuff.
That was my rooster, but it really sounded like Blue's Clues.
Actually, you know what? I have about 7 minutes, 8 minutes. I should tell you the Kid Miller story now. And then at the top of the hour, I wanted to take some phone calls. At the beginning of the show, I told everybody, if you're just tuning in, that my mom called me this morning to let me know that she was going to refuse her dialysis treatment. She was not going to do it anymore. So we are currently dealing with that, and how you deal with a 78-year-old woman making decisions for her own life, even though they're the absolute worst decisions. It's very difficult. And, she has, I don't know, it's just really difficult. It's hard not to say anything and not take shots at everybody up there, because it just feels like,
you're left out there blowing in the wind on your own.
I'm 100 miles away trying to manage this with a cell phone.
And
there's people within 3 miles of her, and it's just, for the life of me, it's just killing me.
And that's where I want to find out what you need to do in order to have power of attorney.
And the other thing is, because of my mom's state of mind, I don't know that she would give it to me. Because I think she would think that I would make her do something she doesn't want to do, like maybe get dialysis.
Yeah.
And she doesn't want to do it. And it's a bad situation, because in her particular scenario, if you're on dialysis, that's the story. Your kidneys have failed to the point where you need a machine to do their job. You don't really need to tell any other story. You have to do it. It's a life or death kind of thing. And I told her that this morning. I said, it's a life or death decision. You understand that, right? And she doesn't believe it. She thinks she's fine. And so hopefully, here's what will happen. Hopefully she will get sick. She will realize she does have to have it, and then she will succumb and then take it, because you can start it back up, but it's still not an easy situation. And I'm just reaching out for people who have dealt with it.
I don't know the words, so I'm not trying to, make any jokes here, but can you Britney Spears the situation?
I mean, there is a possibility. The problem is dealing with that would only really create a bigger rift.
Yeah.
With my mom. So my thing would be if she doesn't do it and I do something like that and she's not talking to me because she hates my guts now, why do it?
Yeah.
I mean, I want her to be alive so I can still more time with her. I don't want her to be super pissed off at me because I made her stay alive and she doesn't believe, and then she's right back in the situation. She simply doesn't want to do it. Anyway, so this past weekend, we'll talk about that in a second. 5 o'clock, I'll take your calls. Thank you guys for everything this morning or this afternoon. When I brought this up earlier in the show, the texting service went crazy. The lines are lighting up. We don't take calls at the beginning of the program. We will take them after this in the 5 o'clock hour, so you guys can give me the advice, because I am legit at a loss. I don't get at a loss for many things. I'm a loss. I don't even know what to do. I looked at my wife and I was like, what do you do? She's a grown woman. She can do what she wants. She could just not say anything and just not do it. And then I get a call from the hospital, by the way.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, your mom refused dialysis and it did its thing. So you need to come back up here and take care of this now. And everything we've read, there isn't a lot of time once she ends it at this particular level of disease. It is not going to take long for her blood to become toxic. So, it's a clock scenario now, and I'm fighting against the only person I can't fight against, which is my mom, the one who was doing it to herself.
And if you Britney Spears it, you might run the risk of her posting really weird dance videos on Instagram.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, multiple bikini shots.
Yeah.
Don't want that.
People making podcasts over said weird things.
Anyway, so this Kid Miller story is kind of funny. So have you ever done corporate gigs?
I have. I've only a handful, and I'm 2 for 2 or 3 for 3.
In the world of corporate gigs, from what I understand from comedians, they have a love-hate relationship with them, because usually the money's very good, but the problem is the crowds are not. Everybody has been drinking for hours. The buffet's still going. They're getting caught up on things that are happening at work. There's just general conversation going around.
In my experience, corporate gigs, my least favorite thing about them is that I can hear the audience go ahead and say, "There's comedy tonight."
Yeah, exactly. Or it's happening now.
Oh, it's.
I
didn't know that.
I thought that was a motivational speaker not doing a good job.
I thought that was just a drunkard who broke in.
Right. Well, this was a different thing. So the party was hired. I think it was probably about 200 people there that night, maybe a little bit less than that, not much. And it was kind of funny. There was a band playing, and the DJ really didn't do that good of a job. I don't know. He just wasn't that good at it. He was there. He wanted to party and have a good time, but he didn't want to do his job, and he wasn't doing a very good job. And I honestly, I had to really contain myself from commandeering the mic just so we could we could just go, look, man, this is how it's done, and then just turn the damn thing up. Like, just turn the party up and have some fun. He wasn't really doing a good job at all, which sucks because they paid him well, and he just kind of failed him, to be dead honest with you.
Just slide to the left for 45 minutes.
So there was no transition time between the dance. I mean, the band ended. The last note was still ringing in the air. He grabs the mic and goes, and now, everybody, comedian Ken Miller.
Oh, God.
There was no, like, hey, in 5 minutes, prepare yourself, get a drink, get to your table, go to the bathroom. We're about to see Orlando's Godfather of Comedy, blah, 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 blah. And then give him his big intro. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is. Give it up, good and loud. Mr. Ken Miller, as seen on headlining Improv, none of that, right? So Ken gets up and starts doing his thing, and he's doing comedy, and he's doing his thing. I mean, he's letting them have it. By the way, about a third of this audience is Latino, right? And they wanted to dance. I mean, the band wanted to get down and dance, right? So he gets up there and he's doing his comedy, and he's a proven laugh. Like, this guy's a proven laugh. No fail. Almost every audience thinks Ken Miller's funny because he is really, really funny, right? We've had him on the show. Matter of fact, during our best of, Jack played a number of segments from Ken. He was with the Army for many years, the Clinton story and all that fun stuff. He's a great storyteller. So Ken's in the audience, and he's getting some laughs, and he notices his kid in the front row who isn't laughing much. And he starts going, "What's up, man? What's your problem? Isn't this funny? Blah, blah, blah." He's doing the whole thing. And he goes, and he keeps on going, and I'm going, and I'm figuring out a way. I'm trying to figure out a way to give him the cut sign. But it's impossible because he's in it. No way to tell. Even though I'm sitting right there, there's no way. And he goes, "Man, I can't make you laugh. I'm just going to tickle you." And he walks over and he kind of, tickles him a little bit. And kids like, I think the kid's 18, 19, 20 years old, something like that.
It's a bold move.
What Ken doesn't understand is that the kid is autistic.
Oh.
Highly functional, autistic, and he's the son of the owner of the company.
Oh.
And I'm like, dude, there are 150 plus people here, and you choose that guy? And it's so funny because the kid is the sweetest kid you ever met in your life. I mean, really highly functional. Everybody in the company loves him. He works there with his mom and his dad, and he does the stuff that you can do. And he's got his thing, and he's just a super highly functional kid. But he doesn't understand like the comedy.
Yes.
Like, if you told him a good knock-knock joke, it'd probably lay him out. But, because he can grab that. But, comedy like Ken does, he doesn't kind of get that whole thing. But he was sitting right there, and we were laughing our asses off. So he decides to move on to another target. My mother-in-law.
All right, perfect. Keep the streak going.
And he started hitting her with some kind of questionable material and stuff. And everybody in the audience is going, "Whoa, no!" I'm like, warning. And he starts doing some material that maybe is a little, a little racy, a little blue, right? And everybody is looking at him and goes, "What's wrong? What?" "She's a preacher's wife." And he's the preacher right beside her. She's also the HR manager of the company. And he's like, 0 for 2, bro. I'm out.
Yeah.
It was just a really weird night for Ken. Like, the two people he decided to do crowd work were the two worst people in the building to do crowd work with. But let me tell you what, that dude is a pro.
Absolutely.
He didn't let any of that shake him. He moved right on and wound up destroying, had a great night. Everybody loved him. And matter of fact, he left and did more comedy that night. So big thanks to Ken. It was a lot of fun. And it was just one of those weird things that happens when you do corporate comedy. So we'll take a little break and come back and let you guys kind of help steer me through the situation with my mom. We'll take your calls next here on Real Radio.
Chance at $1,000 and a trip to our iHeartRadio Music Festival is minutes away on Real Radio.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center. Car crash? Call Clausman Law.
Well, officials have cleared this accident eastbound on I-4 between Kirkman Road and the Turnpike, but it has left behind some stop-and-go volume. Heads up here. It's also heavy between Osceola Parkway and State Road 535. Westbound still a solid ride between Sand Lake Road and Central Florida Parkway, and also between World Drive and 429. We're still in good shape on the 408 and 417. See traffic problems? Call the SafeTouchSecurity.com traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Paige Carrera.
This report is sponsored by Amtrak. Amtrak. Whether you're craving a breath of fresh mountain air, an exciting new adventure, or just some free babysitting from Grandma, Amtrak can get you there. With more than 500 destinations across the country, everything you're missing just an Amtrak away.
Look, man, if you're a business owner, you're feeling the pressures of running your business, aren't you? Well, there's a limit to what you can do and still keep employees engaged. The good thing is Insperity brings 30 years of HR experience to help you with hiring, training, HR administration, and compliance, and the entire time giving your employees the competitive benefit options they want and need. And you're able to focus on other priorities now. Your employees can thrive, your business can grow, and with Insperity, nothing seems impossible. Full service HR, employee benefits, HR technology, it's Insperity. That's HR that makes a difference.
What's your 8-year plan? Because at 7-Eleven, there's over 3,000 ways to brew your personal cup of hot or iced coffee. We've got flavors, mix-ins, creamers, and now there's even more brew options like nitro cold brews, iced cappuccinos, and iced mochas. And with 7 rewards, you can get any size iced coffee for $1. So if you wanted to try something new every day, you'd be all set in about 8 years. You could probably do it in 4. But what's the rush? 7-Eleven. Take it to 11. Expires 8/24/21. $1 plus tax where applicable at select stores. See app for terms.
Right from the start, we've always been on the go. And once we got going, we never slowed down. So for the past 100 years at Pep Boys, we've kept our promise to keep you moving. And we plan on keeping it for at least 100 more. Pep Boys, we go further to help you go farther. Now through August 31st at Pep Boys, get free installation instantly on a set of 4 Michelin or BF Goodrich tires. See pepboys.com for complete details.
Owning a business comes with pressure. There's a limit to what I can do and still keep employees engaged. Fortunately, there's Insperity. They put 30-plus years of HR experience to work to help me with hiring, training, HR administration, and compliance, while giving my employees competitive benefit options. And because I'm able to focus on other priorities, my employees can thrive and my business can grow. With Insperity, nothing seems impossible. Insperity, HR that makes a difference.
Okay, so the IKEA 10-year family celebration is here, and we have got a lot to cover.
Taking notes as we speak.
So we've got coupons.
Yep.
Giveaways.
You know it.
And limited time offers.
Already on the shelves.
Great. Oh, lastly, we'll need more chairs.
How many?
Oh, just 22 million.
Right.
It's the celebration of a decade, so let's make sure they all know to go visit their local IKEA store or to IKEA-USA.com now through August 22nd to learn more or become a member today.
Got it.
Oh, you're the best.
I know.
So you want to be my client. You think you deserve fair compensation for your injuries. Well, you got to call me. Can't just keep listening forever. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Mo DeWitt, Orlando attorney.
Wawa and Chips Ahoy are teaming up to bring you handcrafted beverages that'll make your summer adventures epic. Like
going to the beach.
Going to the beach with a delicious and creamy Chips Ahoy milkshake. And
binging season 3 of that show?
Binging season 3 of that show with a tasty Chips Ahoy smoothie. Whatever you're doing this summer, make it epic. Chips Ahoy milkshakes, smoothies, and sundaes are here. Crafted to crave at Wawa. For dinner made fresh, delicious, and just for you, Wawa's got you covered with fresh baked pasta and delicious burgers every day starting at 4 p.m. Choose pasta options like penne and meatballs, fettuccine alfredo, or create your own pasta bowl. Or enjoy the burger you crave, made with your choice of cheese and toppings on a brioche bun. Even better with a side of fries. There's a dinner option for every craving, every day starting at 4 p.m. Enjoy dinner your way at Wawa.
Did you know that the majority of adults are unsure if their advisors are obligated to act in their best interests?
If you're not sure, trust Certified Financial Group. With 12 certified financial planners, they serve as fiduciaries and are committed to acting in your best interest. They even put their guarantee in writing.
Schedule your no-obligation visit at financialgroup.com, where they're planning tomorrow, today. Financial planning and investment advice for a fee through Certified Advisory Corporation, a registered investment advisor.
Thinking about divorce? Kramer Law. OneFirmForLife.com. Office is Altamont Springs.
Broadcasting live from the personal injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studio. Car accidents, other injuries? Call pound 546 from your cell or visit whenyouneedus.com. You're listening to WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Available everywhere with the iHeartRadio app. Now #1 for podcasting. We are an iHeartRadio station.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000 and a trip to our iHeartRadio Music Festival now. Text the nationwide keyword FESTIVAL. FESTIVAL. Festival to the number 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's Festival to the number 200-200. Good luck.
You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show on Real Radio 104.1.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1. Happy Monday, everybody.
Yeah, whatever.
On this steamy, hot Monday afternoon. Of course, storms rolling through and a hurricane on the way. I hope you enjoy Florida.
Yeah.
The D of the nation.
It's Monday.
My soul is preening.
Exactly. I'm Jim, Deb, Jack, and Ross are here as well. By the way, got a little sunburn with SPF 100 on yesterday. It was basically roof paint. I walked out there as a white man group and still got sunburn. It was brutal out there yesterday. Welcome back. We're talking about this situation with my mom. I opened the show with this. Of course, this saga has continued for the last month. I've shared almost every step with you guys, and we'll continue to do so. This morning, I got a phone call from my mom coming home from a small vacation, and my mom informed me that she'd thought about it all night long, and she is going to refuse her dialysis treatment. Now, this is obviously keeping her alive. Kidney failure caused a bunch of health issues with her. She still has an aneurysm, still has COPD. She is in a care unit now. They came to her for her dialysis today. She refused it. Now, she also refused it last Thursday, and they called me and said, hey, look, I'm just giving you a heads up. It's our responsibility. Your mom refused dialysis this week. And just so you know, this is where this goes, just the steps forward. And, of course, like any medical facility, when you start talking to them about things like this, they treat it like a medical situation. There's very little emotion involved. I mean, they understand what you're going through. They've done it a billion times. Yours is not unique. Mine wasn't unique, I should say. And, they said, hey, look, this is what's going to happen as your mom's blood starts to get more and more poisonous. She is going to experience some things. We have medication to take care of some of that until the final situation, comes up. And, I shared that with my mom today. I asked her where her plot was. I wasn't using BS language, and I looked at that like she wasn't using it with me. And, she was telling me exactly how she felt. I know this may be a bit crass, but I let her know, hey, look, this is a life or death decision you're making, whether you believe it or not. I believe the people who are telling me that it is for you. So, you deciding not to do this. I did say this, guys, and I'm like, what are you doing? I did. I asked her, what are you doing? Just be honest with me. What are you doing here? If you're trying to if you're making a decision, the big decision, you need to share that with me. I deserve that. This whole family deserves that.
Well, because you'll be the one handling everything.
I will be handling everything. And she didn't answer that question. And I didn't force the issue. She just told me she didn't want to do it anymore. She didn't believe she needed it.
Jack, did you go through any of this? Your mom was so amiable, or was it?
Yeah, I did not. It was a different situation with my mom. She accepted the, advice of her doctors, and we had a good relationship, with her medical staff. She followed treatment. And and she had a plan with a living will and power of attorney and all that.
And had your mom not fallen, she may be still around. Your mom fell. That's the thing. 91 years old. When you have that many issues and you fall, it's detrimental.
What about having someone come in and talk to your mom privately and kind of?
She refuses all of that. My father-in-law does this for a living, and we offered it up, and they know each other, and she would not have it. She says, "I definitely do not want that."
Really?
Yeah, 407. It's beyond what I understand. So it's hard for me to apply my idea of logic to this because I just get angry and frustrated because I know the answer. She does not know the answer. She has something clouding her ability to know the answer, which I do not.
Do you think she understands the gravity of the situation and she's resolute in her decision, but doesn't want to have to argue because she knows she can't argue with you?
She got off the phone with me. She said, I'm going to go now.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to hear it.
Right.
She knew. She called to tell me, knowing I was going to be upset, and was just matter of fact as if she was telling me, by the way, my car needs new oil.
We know the gravity of the situation and the choice that she is making. Do you believe she does? Do you believe she accepts the gravity?
That's the issue.
Right.
Because I told her today, I said, this is a life or death situation. This is a life or death decision.
How did she respond to those
I don't
words?
believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. She doesn't believe she needs it. You know, she doesn't believe she needs it. So she's not had it now for 4 days. She's done this before and she got sick again. And I hope that it happens again. I hope she gets sick again. And then they realizes that, hey, you know, this is the answer. Or maybe that's the best thing. I don't know. I just hate rolling those dice at 78 years old with all those other issues because you faking it a couple times, you might not have the opportunity to go, oh, I want to get it now. You know, I may change my mind. Well, sorry. It doesn't, you know, it's too late now. You know, there's no changing your mind. So let's go to the phones here. Hey, Jennifer, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Thanks for calling, by the way.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
So I've been in the dialysis field for 25 years, and it's absolutely brutal. I don't know, has she had any difficulties with her treatments recently that you know of?
She hasn't. What she doesn't like is, you know, with dialysis, you get cold. And she's already old. She's 78, so she's already perpetually cold. When she lived with me, she kept the thermostat upstairs at like 78, and she was still complaining about it being too cold. So
that part shall resolve because her hemoglobin's very low from the kidney failure.
Right.
So that is something that should get better. But along the lines also, sometimes during treatments they get cramping, they become ill. If they continue to do hemodialysis, I don't know if she's looked at other types of dialysis, eventually she's going to have another surgery where they have to go in and create a vessel to do the treatment for her.
She already has a port.
That they're not going to let her keep that because it's very dangerous. It tunnels down beside her heart. So they're probably talking to her. She's going to have to get what is called a fistula. So she's looking at another surgery also. So all these are very frightening to her. So that's probably what's going on with her. These are things that are being thrown at her.
Yeah, and Jennifer, I appreciate everything you're saying. You know, we have been very open. Every doctor has had a conversation right to her face. I've been there for almost 95% of these conversations. They've explained to her. The detriment of refusing the treatment. And I understand it's not any fun. And I told her, I said, Mom, this is no fun. I get it. It's brutal. I get it. You have to go there every other day, 3 hours. But, I mean, you don't really have a choice right now. This is what's keeping you alive. But the problem is she doesn't believe that. She thinks she's going to be fine without it.
Again, like you said, she'll get sick very soon. Depends how much if she has residual function at this point whatsoever. Some people still do and they're on dialysis. But she will get sick very quickly. Her potassium will go up. And you can tell her very quickly that happens, and it's cardiac.
Yeah.
And she could very easily go into cardiac arrest.
Right. So we've explained all that to her. And her quote was, imagine your mother saying this to you. If I die, I die. My mom. And here's the best thing. She said that to me with an option. Thanks, Jen. I appreciate your call. She said that to me with an option. If I die, I die. What do? I'm driving down the road. My wife's next to me, coming home from a great vacation, looking forward to getting back to the show and doing the show with my friends. And my mom looks at me and says, well, not looks at me. It says, well, if I die, I die. Because I don't believe I need it. And hopefully there you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
that's
That's how I
exactly what
felt
I'm
times
feeling.
50 for the last 30 days of my life. That right there, that noise you just made is my emotion. So create a word for that, and we'll coin it. That sound is how I felt for a month.
I think that word exists. It's just like the stupid FCC gets in the way.
Liza, welcome to the show. How you doing?
I'm doing okay, Jim. I've never had the courage to talk to you before. I've listened to you for years, but I've been in your shoes, and Jim, I don't have any words to say except for the fact that I know exactly how you feel. And once she makes that decision, the sands in the hourglass are going to go so quickly. And my mom did not tell my sisters or I that she was doing this. She went, go to the cousin wedding, tell me all about it. And she talked to her doctors behind our back. We come back. We're excited, just like you. Great vacation, blah, blah, blah. We come back. After we were done, she lined us up. We were in our age order by accident. And she said, I've made the decision. I am not doing dialysis. I'm going home. She was in a facility at that time. She said, and we just stood there. I'm from Virginia. We said, yes, ma'am. Okay, you're sure this is what it is? Of course, we're all losing, can't believe this is happening. So I flew back to Florida, and I said, I'm going to fly back up. I flew back up a couple of days afterwards, and we had 10 days. I mean, you really, once that happens, you've got 10 to 12 days, Jim. I'm not saying that to freak you out, but we got her home. We got the hospice. We got a private nurse at night. We were with her as much as we could be, but the arms they got so swollen, and then she started weeping out of her arms like this. It was just so bizarre, and I don't know the medical things. The lady that spoke before I found very interesting. I was so glad Jennifer called, but it was her decision. So it almost turned into a beautiful thing because she didn't want to die, but she knew that she was in so much pain. She couldn't take it, and she said, I can't do this. So
she doesn't mention the pain. She doesn't mention any pain. She just says she doesn't want to do it. Like it's annoying.
She was on liquid morphine. It was awful. And, she took it as best as she could, but it ended up being, and this is what is so crazy, it was the most beautiful death I've ever had the honor of being a part of. And it was because she took it by the balls and said, this is how I'm facing it. There's nothing I can do with it. And we just played music. We brought friends over to see her. She did as best as she could. And I don't know what else to do. It was her decision. And I can't believe, though, that she did it without telling you. That's where I can't understand. You must be furious.
Well, she did tell me. She called me this morning to tell me. It doesn't take away the fury, though. That was still there. Thanks for your call, though,
Jim's
Liza. I appreciate
be furious regardless of whatever happens in
at
life.
least now we know where he got his stubbornness.
Yeah, Jim's going to be pissed that he just called all three of us friends. Wait till he finds out about that.
Don't pick this show for a deep dive.
The real challenge here and the issue, as far as I see it, is whether she accepts what the outcome will be. If she's just saying that, it'll be okay, meaning, does she know the gravity of the situation, and is she accepting that choice and say, I'd rather not go through treatment and just take whatever happens, or if she really thinks that I'm not going to do treatment and I'm going to go back to my life how it was.
And let me I didn't throw this wrinkle in. I'll throw this wrinkle in before we go to break. The lines are full. And guys, I can't begin to tell you how much I appreciate this. Simply because I don't have anybody else dealing with this in my life, and I have a very unique job that allows me to reach out and have people explain to me what they've gone through. So every one of you guys who calls, thank you so much. And Liza, just know I fought so much calling you a bad word just to solidify how bad of a person I am to you and how you should have been afraid to call me all these years, but I didn't want to do that.
Don't you worry, Liza. I'll slap him.
Right.
So what's the wrinkle?
Here's the other wrinkle. She said she looked, as we're talking, one of the last things she says before we hang up, she goes, Jimmy, don't worry. God's going to take care of me. I can feel it.
Mm-hmm.
So now you throw in the faith wrench. And now how do you explain to someone who's been a lifelong Christian, or her mother founded a church in town that's still running, and you look at her and say, well, Mom, this is not like a God thing. This is like a science thing. And these people, and my wife said it the most eloquent way. She texted her and said, Betty, you understand that, God made these doctors. These doctors are here by the grace of God. So you should listen to them because they've been blessed with this great knowledge to help you live your life so you can continue to worship if you want and do these things. That didn't seem to sink through either. So my mom just stopped taking texts and everything. All right, 407-916-1041. We'll take the rest of these calls when we get back. Thanks for your calls.
Orlando City remains on the road to face Nashville SC Wednesday, August 18th. Coverage starts at 8 on our sister station, FM 96.9 The Game and iHeartRadio. Orlando City matches on Real Radio are brought to you by Mossy Oak Fence.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center, shop the rest, buy from the best, goldsmithjewelry.com.
A heavy ride continues eastbound on I-4 between Osceola Parkway and State Road 535. We're solid westbound between Sand Lake Road and Central Florida Parkway, and also between World Drive and 429. Northbound travel on 429 stop and go now between Colonial Drive and Plant Street. We're still in good shape on the 408. No reported issues on the beach line. See traffic problems? Call the SafeTouchSecurity.com traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Paige Carrera.
This report is sponsored by Truly Nolan.
Termites are hard to deal with on your own.
Let the experts at Truly Nolan get rid of termites before they get in. Schedule a free inspection today at TrulyNolan.com and get $100 off termite control. Truly Nolan, family owned since 1938.
Here's what I know about living in Florida. You don't have to have a hurricane to knock your damn power out. We were getting power surges this morning at my house with perfect weather outside. That is where Complete Power Resources comes into play. These guys can get you a house generator or a business generator so that when your power goes out, yours doesn't. Yours stays nice and clean, ready to go, running your AC, keeping you nice and cool, running the things you need to do your life and handle it properly. These guys are all about that. CPR for your home and business. That's what Complete Power Resources is. And here's the best part. You know, a lot of people out there in Florida. A lot of people out there, like the solar thing, the roofing thing, a lot of people out there doing squirrely stuff. The great thing with these guys is they are licensed and bonded, insured, background check, COVID-19 tested. When they show up at your property with that great generator from Cummins, Briggs & Stratton, Generac, Kohler, all those names that you know, their techs are going to install it. It's going to be perfect, and your house is never going to see a dark day again. It's the best thing you can do for your property. I'll tell you something else, too. Increases your resale value. It's like having a pool, for crying out loud, when you have a home generator. These guys are awesome, and they're going to do a great job for you. If you're looking for a home generator or maybe a business generator, these guys can do it for you. It's Complete Power Resources. Hop online today and book your appointment at CompletePowerResources.com.
This year full of real radio is brought to you by Klausman Law. Car crash? Call Glenn Klausman. KlausmanLaw.com.
Spectrum Business called their competitors to see if any of them could beat Spectrum's Business Internet Plus phone offer for $69.98 per month with no added phone taxes or fees. Here are real quotes from the competition.
How are they pulling in no fees and taxes? That's madness.
I would 100% go with Spectrum.
Even the competition recommends Spectrum Business. Call 855-339-5344 and switch to Spectrum Business today.
Competitor quotes from actual phone conversations. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
At Navy Federal Credit Union, we help our members execute missions every day, like Operation...
Earn cash back on tutus, dance lessons, and tiaras, so I can get a little more towards something for me.
Or Operation...
Pay for soccer, pay for piano, pay for dinner. Then use the cash back on something for mama.
The Cash Rewards card from Navy Federal gives you 1.5% cash back on purchases and has your back with fraud protection. Apply now. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members of the mission. Open to the armed forces, the DoD, veterans, and their families. Insured by NCUA.
A SunTrust checking account lets you stay on top of your money and help it grow. Plant the seeds for your goals with access to financial resources and tools. Keep an eye on your spending, hedging and managing it by setting limits on our mobile app. And rake in cash back on debit card purchases from your favorite retailers with SunTrust deals. With all the right tools, your account can blossom. Open an account today at suntrust.com/checking. Must have online banking to participate in SunTrust deals. SunTrust, now Truist. Member FDIC.
Right from the start, we've always been on the go. And once we got going, we never slowed down. So for the past 100 years at Pep Boys, we've kept our promise to keep you moving. And we plan on keeping it for at least 100 more. Pep Boys, we go further to help you go farther. Now through August 31st at Pep Boys, get free installation instantly on a set of 4 Michelin or BF Goodrich tires. See pepboys.com for complete details.
Ford, Chevy, Dodge, Ram, and GMC, Nations Trucks has got them all, and during the Summer of Truck sales event, you're going to take advantage of interest rates as low as 1.99% and make no payments for 120 days with approved credit. Before you buy any truck, new or used, visit nationstrucks.com.
Made in Florida by Floridians. Get the best quality and price on your new tongue and groove vinyl privacy fence at Fence Outlet today. Go to fenceoutlet.com and set up your free appointment for an estimate now. That's fenceoutlet.com.
License number C-10252 and C-102.
Picture the perfect international vacation. Historic architecture, quaint cafes, beautiful beaches. It sounds great. Now imagine getting there. You got a 14-hour cramped flight, a long wait in customs, and a whole lot of jet lag to look forward to. Introducing a new way to travel, intranationally. Get all that international charm without ever leaving the country. Get all the culture, cuisine, and beaches right here in St. Augustine, Ponte Vedra. Travel intranationally. Visit FloridasHistoricCoast.com to learn more. The new podcast, Long Shot, the 250-year journey to the COVID-19 vaccine, dives into the complicated science of the pandemic and the research, methods, and people behind today's vaccines.
This is like one of the best vaccines ever made in terms of its effectiveness, in terms of its safety. I keep waiting for the other shoe to drop on these vaccines, and it hasn't happened.
Listen to Long Shot, the 250-year journey to the COVID-19 vaccine on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Since 1992, Mills Air has kept Orlando cool. Visit millsair.com to schedule your service today.
The Jim Colbert Show returns now on Real Radio.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1, 407-916-1041 to call us, which I appreciate you guys doing, especially today when I need your help. I'm Jim. Deb, Jack, and Ross are here as well. By the way, I want to thank Complete Power Resources for coming on board. What an awesome company. I mean, awesome company. Look forward to using their services soon. We were thinking about getting a home generator anyway. Just so happened, coincidentally, they came on board, started doing some research. Great company. Lots of integrity, and they sell the best brands, which I love.
I'm sure they are, but shut your mouth. None of us are looking forward to using generator power anytime soon.
It's going to be ready, man. Got to be ready.
I like the fact that their initials are CPR.
Yeah, right, exactly.
It's like when you need to bring your house back to life.
That's exactly what they say. CPR for your home or business. Yeah, good guys. I appreciate that very much, guys. All right, 407-916-1041. Taking calls about my mom. If you're just tuning in, firstly, we appreciate you tuning in. Secondly, at the beginning of the show, I started out telling you guys my mom let me know this morning she was going to refuse her dialysis treatment. And as far as I know, that's what's keeping her alive. She made that decision. She thought about it all night. She told me that. She labored over it all night. She hates going. And I can understand that. I would hate going too. You know, if I had to go sit somewhere in a room for 3 hours a day to do something, and it seems like her will to want to do that, and maybe even her will to live, is taking a hit, and she said, "I'm not going to do it anymore." And I said, "Well, Mom, you understand you're making a life or death decision here." And she said, "Well, quote, if I die, I die. If I die, I die." So that's how it is. She seems so resolute. And actually, somebody texted earlier and said, "Look, when a Southern mama makes up her mind, it's hard to bend that." And you're right. My mom is hard-headed, and sometimes can be a bit ignorant to things and makes decisions based on that. And
hard-headed. So it runs in the family.
As much as you try to inform her that it could be detrimental to her to do that, she is not going to listen. That part has been angering because it's the logic thing. Just like, Mom, there's an answer. It's pretty easy here. This is not a big puzzle. We have enough scans and information and blood tests. You've been tested. Your blood. We know more about your blood than we've ever known about you. Anyway, 407-916-1041. And by the way, I appreciate all the texts. I really do. Everybody's sending great stuff from just, hey, we love you, to, hey, my mom did the same thing. My dad did the same thing. And I appreciate this. I never thought for one second I was in a boat alone. And this is one of the reasons I'm reaching out. As a human, you don't really know how to prepare yourself when your mother tells you that she's making a life or death decision. It doesn't even really seem to know really the depth of it. She didn't seem to know. And to Jack's point, does she understand? I'm like, well, I've told her, the doctors have told her, but, if it's not seeking in and there's denial there, that could be a more powerful urge than the other, All right, let's go back to the phones here. Jim, how you doing? Welcome to the show, and thanks for calling.
Hey, Jim. Back in January 2005, my mom lived in Leesburg with my dad, and she had been going through dialysis for about a year. Due to the effects of diabetes. And she called me up one day. I lived in Apopka and said, come on out. And she sat me down and she said, I'm going to stop dialysis and we're going to bring in hospice. And I wasn't quite sure exactly what this meant. So I made sure I got in touch with the nurse and I said, how long? And the nurse looked at me and she said, 3 weeks tops. And so, of course, I just didn't want to accept it, and I had a long conversation with her, and I'll never forget what she said to me. She said, they can put dogs out of their misery, but you can't do that for a person. And she was not living a quality life, and she didn't want to be a burden on her family. The person that didn't accept it was my father. He kept thinking she was going to get better. Kind of sounds like with your mom in denial. So basically, what it allowed her to do was die on her terms with dignity. The day before she passed, she was holding court with all my relatives and friends that came to see her, and she was still of sound mind, but she passed away 3 weeks to the day that she stopped dialysis.
They told us,
and I had to accept it.
They told us, Jim. They told us, it can be 3 to 14 days, but it is inevitable. I mean, there could be outliers that maybe go a little bit longer, but if the kidneys are as bad as they are, and they tested her enough to know that, I think there's a creatine level or something in there, and once it gets to a certain point, it's supposed to be below 1. When she made it to the hospital, hers was at 5. So 5 times as bad as you can get.
Right.
At the highest level, that's where she was. So her kidneys were not working. And they always tell you, once you go on to dialysis, there is no coming off. I mean, the machine doesn't fix your kidneys. It replaces them. It's different.
Yeah.
Jose, how you doing, buddy? Welcome to the show.
Hey, nice to talk to you.
Thanks, brother. Good to talk to you
I
as
was
well.
in the same. Thank you. I was in the same situation with my mom. She passed away 4 years ago. Same thing. And she was a Christian, and she believed in God. But her mindset, it's not that she didn't realize what was going on.
Yeah.
She had given up, and she just said, I'm in God's hands. If he heals me, he heals me. If he doesn't, he doesn't. Either way, I'm going to be out of pain.
Yeah.
And she had been in dialysis for like 10 years. And like 4 years before that, she told me I'm going to stop. And I told her no. And we had a conversation. And I changed her mind. But this time she didn't tell me because she was afraid I would change her mind again. Yeah. So if your mom is giving you that option, just go home, be with her, spend as much time as you can with her. Because I didn't get that option. And I wish I could have.
Jose,
because I'm a mama's boy and that hurt me.
Yeah.
But,
Let me ask you something, buddy. What nationality are you? Where are you from?
Puerto Rican.
Is there a cultural difference with Puerto Rican mothers, Latino mothers, and their kids that maybe Americans don't understand? I mean, I say Americans. I mean not Americans, but non-Latino, not in that group. I know that Puerto Ricans are Americans, Hispanic, Latino families. I mean, white bread.
As a Hispanic, as a Latino, and the Latinos, they're the matriarch. We hold them above all else.
Right, everything, even above your father, everything else.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, especially in my case because my father passed and whatever. But anyway, that's not what I'm calling. But yeah, I mean, like I said, and we had she just had come back from vacation. We had reunited with some missing family. And I guess she felt that's all she needed. That's what she wanted for her life to be complete.
Yeah.
So she came home. She told my sister she was going to stop dialysis and she was going to tell me next time she talked to me. Yeah. We talked on the phone that week and she didn't tell me. And there was a weekend and she passed away that Monday. And
Jose
just told me.
Jose, listen, buddy, and I appreciate your call. I'm going to let you go here. But you know what's very interesting is the thing that when parents make that phone call, because now you're the third or fourth caller now has said the very same thing. It seems like when somebody that's on dialysis and facing this makes that call, they are resolute. They do not plan on changing their minds at all. And that's the thing that's the thing I'm facing right now, brother. Thanks for your call, man. I appreciate it very much. Is that when my mom made that call and I picked up that phone, I could hear her breathing different. I could hear her, everything was different. And I knew she was going to tell me something like this. I just knew it. And if I really was honest with myself, she's probably been thinking about it way longer than just one night. More than likely, after the very first treatment, she's probably been going, this sucks. And I'm not going to want to do this even once more this week, much less for the remainder of my existence.
Think about her independence. When was the last time she had to clear anything with anybody?
Oh, that's another big, gigantic thing, dude. You have no idea.
And so she has decided, I don't want to do this. And right now, I mean, for lack of a better term, you're the only obstacle to her getting what she wants, which is to stop this.
Right.
Your intentions are pure and good, and you just want her to be as healthy as she can and try and help her recover. But, she is making the decision that, And that's the other point I was asking about, what her understanding is, and it's hard because you'd have to you're guessing based on what she's telling you,
right?
But is when she says God will take care of it, does that
what do you
mean?
Do then? Yeah, but God take care of it. God taking me away, part of it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Is that the plan type thing?
Is that it's like, oh, this is the time for me to go to God.
407-916-1041. Somebody said it earlier on the texting service perfectly that having life isn't necessarily living a life.
Yeah.
Having life doesn't mean you're living your life. And I think maybe that may apply as much as anything. She just can't see herself sitting there even though that's all she did at home anyway.
But it was her choice.
Decision, right? Oh. Matt, how you doing, Matt? First things first, thanks for holding. We appreciate it, buddy. Thanks for hanging in there.
That's all right. Am I on the air?
You are.
Okay, listen to me. I'm in exactly the same boat. My mom was the same age, and by the way, I'm a Irish Moss Matt that talked to you a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, right on, buddy. Good to see you.
Same boat. 78 years old, COPD. When she went into Advent Health, her kidney levels were at a 3, but we've known that she's had near stage 4 for about 2 years. The last 2.5 years, she's been hospitalized 7 times. The call I got was from the director of the ICU at Advent Health South, and he said, look, I usually only make these calls when they're 6 months or less. If she takes a dialysis, it's going to be brutal. Basically, your decision is based on quality of life or quantity of life. My mom decided immediately, and she had of sound mind, and while the difference in me and you is that I hold durable power of attorney, brother, let me tell you what. Get a will package together. It's independent. It's a hard thing to talk about, but you will need that because you're the man. You're the one taking care of this. Okay, so she didn't start dialysis. We found an incredible facility for her. Her kidney function has actually come up to a 3.5. We don't know if it's going to be 6 months, but she has done an incredible, it's been amazing to watch. But she has chosen right off the bat, of sound mind, I'm not going to do the dialysis. I know what you're going through. I really, man, if I could be giving you a bear hug right now, I would.
Oh.
But it's harder on the family, and a lot of times, literally, my mom is the same age as yours. She just turned 79. And this is her decision. If she's not of sound mind, well, then hence the decision falls upon me as durable power of attorney.
Right.
I've got the medical, I've got the financial, I've got it all. I can do whatever, but my mom is of sound mind, and she is a faith-based woman. And she said, I will be fine. This is the choice that I'm making.
Yep.
And it's hard, brother. It's hard when you have...
Matt, she said that 100 times to me today. She goes, this is my choice. She wanted me to know. She wanted me to know more than anything that this is her choice for her, because for the last month, I've been making choices for her. And she has not liked that. She hasn't liked it one bit.
Right. So that's an independent Southern woman, and it doesn't even fall to any demographic or any race or anything. She is still of sound mind. And you're right. I guarantee you she made her choice after the first treatment. But the medical director of the ICU at Orlando Health South, I talked to him for about an hour. And her CO2 levels when she went into the hospital were 90. That would kill the average person. Kill the average person. And I tell you what, if you saw my mom, you would never know anything was wrong.
Yeah.
It's an amazing. I want to encourage you anyway I can.
Thanks, buddy. My mom also, thanks, man. I appreciate your call for sure. The other thing is, my mom, God, I just lost my train of thought because I was thinking of something he said that triggered something.
About being stubborn.
And just the ownership of that decision seems to be a big part of it for her. And, she didn't tell my sister. She didn't call her. She just told me. And I called her brothers and called Wendy, my sister, and let her know. And, we're all in the same boat. We're just kind of exasperated. We just kind of deeply sighed because we've just been dealing with her. So dealing with, trying to get her in a position like this whole thing of trying to be so uplifting. Like, Mom, hey, look, you're going to stay here for 2 months. We're going to be able to come up and visit, do the whole thing. And so we're trying to get you into a place, we are going to get you into a place where you have your own apartment, your own thing. We'll be able to come up and hang out. You're going to love it. It's going to be great. You'll have everything you need. They'll drive you where you need to. We can come out and take you out for the days and stuff. She didn't even seem remotely excited about it. And the crazy part is that life would be better than the one she was living before. She was sharing a house with her brother. You know, they would have spats back and forth. And this would be independence. She had just no interest whatsoever.
Because it sounded like it was, we're going to put you here.
We are going to do all this. We're not, I have no decision.
You have no decision.
She would keep saying, well, I guess. And I'm like, well, Mom, I mean, speak up. If you don't like any of this stuff, just say something. I mean, we're just trying to make the best possible scenario for you. You don't have to ride with it. Just let me know where you want to change it or something. But these are the options we have. You know, depending, I mean, based on your health. You heard him, stage 3, and they were getting him 6 months. My mom's been stage 5 for God knows how long. And the other thing, she goes, why now? Why now? Why all of a sudden? And I'm like, Mom, you smoked 2 packs of cigarettes for 40 effing years. You walked and did no exercise, and all you ate was pork, fat, and butter for 40 effing years. You never went to the doctor. What do you think's going to happen, man? Do you think it's just going to be you're going to moonwalk into heaven at 88 in perfect shape? This stuff comes back to haunt you, man. But I didn't say that to her. I don't want you guys to know I wasn't being a complete dick, but that's what I was thinking inside.
Each one of those, her decision. And
stop saying that. I hate that.
No,
Stop making sense, you dick.
What's really tough.
Let's go back to moonwalking to heaven. That was a fun image.
It's my new album.
What's really tough is that you know, for the past month, decisions have been removed from her.
Right.
Yeah.
And then she goes through that treatment, and she's not. Cigarettes were taken away.
Yeah.
She knows driving is taken away.
Yep.
Having you make car payments with the hope that she's going to drive again.
Listen, buddy, I did that for her.
Right.
I was like, Mom, I'm going to make your payment for you so that when everything turns out okay and you can get your car back, I'll just bring it back up here for you, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Trying to do anything to let her know. Some
give her
light.
hope.
Light.
Give her hope.
Light.
Yeah.
Which one, buddy?
3.
Anonymous, how you doing? You're on the air.
Hi, Jim.
Hey.
So I come to you from a very different perspective,
Okay.
from a younger version of your mom. I understand completely where you're coming from. It's your mother, and you want her to do everything and fight for everything. I have had a disease that has no cure that I've known of since 2010. And I had young children who are now adults, they're 18 and 20. But I find myself without that drive and that push anymore because I've been a stay-at-home mom and I've taken care of my children and my job is retiring. And so I completely understand from your mom's perspective, especially with what you have shared with us, that she has suddenly given up smoking, which, you know, I'm sure is her stress relief from life.
Yes.
And she's by herself in a hospital room or, you know, doesn't have a lot of visitors and probably doesn't want more than what she has. But her drive to live and her quality of life isn't what it is. To you, it's your mom. And you want anything, you want your mom to stay around as long as possible, which I know my kids want that for me too. But for her, what am I waking up for tomorrow?
Right.
What does tomorrow bring me? It's another treatment of dialysis? Yay. You know, if tomorrow's another doctor's appointment? Yay. I might see my kids, you know, next month or not. It's just that drive's not there.
Anonymous,
and
let me ask you, do you have a time in it? Do you have to do a medical treatment like every other day? Is there something like that you have to complete?
No, not like dialysis, but I will say that kidney failure is something that is something I'm very familiar with and could be my destiny. I'm only 45, but I understand.
Gotcha.
Being at that point where your focus isn't there and it's just you're not needed as much, especially as a woman. So you as a man, Jim, and you have this radio show and you have this drive for life and everything, you know, it's not the same for her. It's not, your kids don't need you as much and you feel like you've fulfilled your life.
Yeah. You know what?
So this is my advice to you because you asked her advice. I would say you can't change her mind. That's not up to you and that's not your job. Make sure that she has some kind of psychological person that she can talk to because it sounds like she is in a very justified depression. As anyone who is sick will go through some type of depression, but her whole life has changed. And that will undoubtedly, for anybody, make you not want to live But beyond that,
It's
just let
it's like you've written a journal of everything I've experienced in the last 4 minutes you talked.
Yeah. Well, I've been there.
She only wants to.
Honestly, Jim, I've been vapor active for this. So I did try to do it, and it's you especially. I hate to say this word, but it's the number one word when you're talking about. I mean, let's say it's suicide, whatever. Which I know that's not your mom's issue, but it's you feel like a burden to everyone. It's dialysis, that's a financial burden.
Yeah.
And you feel like a burden to your family who's come driving 2 hours to come spend 30 minutes with you and go back, and you know they have a life too. You don't want, as a mother especially, you don't want to be a burden to your children.
She's used those words before, and I let her know right up front, you are not a burden to anybody. You're not a burden to anybody, but you did say something that is painfully accurate, and I've known this, even though we haven't spoken about it. My mom went from living her everyday life to overnight this becoming her reality. No smoking, hooked up to a machine 3 times a week, in a room with people she doesn't know, with limited visitors. Now because of COVID, it's even worse. And there's very little question to me, Anonymous, that she is experiencing some of that. And we have tried to offer her, and I've let the hospital know that she's had incidences before, not unlike your own. But it doesn't. She refuses everything, and even more accurate, what you're saying is, she doesn't want to have long conversations anymore. She wants to talk 3 or 4 minutes, and then she wants to be done. And I'm calling to talk to her, to give her some, a voice of reassurance that she's going to be she's going to be okay. Just talking to her, talking about her past life, talking about vacations and other family members and what they're up to and things like that. Just anything to get her mind off, her being there and being away from family and stuff. And even worse now with COVID, no visitors virtually at all, 15 minutes at a time, and you got to be, standing 20 feet apart, all masked up and stuff. It's almost not a visit at all.
It's surreal.
Well,
it's not fair. It's not fair to anyone in this situation.
Well,
and I really feel it for you, but I hope she can at least have someone to maybe talk to and maybe change her mood. But if that's her mood, that's there's little you can do.
I will take your advice gladly, and I appreciate you having the being brave enough to call today and explain this. And I thank you so much, and God bless you and your family.
Thanks. Bye.
All right, back in a minute.
We have a prize. You have a phone. Get on board at 407-916-1041. Jim Colbert Show Trivia is brought to you by Cento Family Moving and Storage. That's CENTO Moving.com.
This is Hall of Famer Eric Dickerson. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Insperity.
LeBron James responded to the haters on social media like me who criticized the Lakers' additions this offseason. Sorry, LeBron, but it's not an insult to say LA's lineup is old. They now have the oldest roster in league history. In the NBA, you need veterans to win championships, but there's a big gap between being a veteran and being old. Anthony Davis is their only superstar they still have in his prime, and he can't stay healthy. Sorry, LeBron, the media's right. I'm Colin Cowherd.
Providing scalable HR services, employee benefits, payroll, and HR technology for 30-plus years. Insperity's mission is to help businesses succeed so communities prosper. Insperity, HR that makes a difference. Visit Insperity.com.
Hey, Central Florida, it's time to up your standard of driving. RC Hill here from RC Hill Mitsubishi. Are you sick of driving a car you hate? Raise the bar in a nice new car and lower your monthly payment at the same time. Used cars from just $69 per month. New cars from just $129 per month. Raise the bar and I'll get more for your old car. We'll pay up to $5,000 over appraised value for your clunker. Is your credit score lower than you like? We will help you get approved. That's what makes us your car dealer next door. Give it a try. I'm raising the bar and making my best offer ever. Like brand new Mirage's 43 miles per gallon lifetime warranty. And introducing the all-new 2022 Outlander in stock and ready for delivery. Plus check out our certified used cars. Monthly payments from just $69 per month. Trade-ins will pay over appraised value. So get here quick. I'm RC Hill, your car dealer next door. Central Florida's first choice for new Mitsubishis. Visit me at rchill.com. That's rchill.com.
That doorbell camera out there doing it again.
APR, $9 down, $249 payment plus tax tag fees. Max trade incentive based on purchase.
This time they're sharing your internet with your neighbors, and even better, no way at all for you to know which neighbors that is. Some internet providers actually flag your account because that could violate your internet agreement. Allowing strangers to connect to your internet is inherently risky, and of course, sharing your internet connection could pose a giant risk that third parties gain access to all of your data. all that banking and info going back and forth across your Wi-Fi, they can hack into that. That's why smart shoppers use SafeTouch security. Because with that SafeTouch system, it assures you complete peace of mind that you have the best security available even when your cameras, they're protected by SafeTouch as well. With a SafeTouch system, not only can you get the fastest possible emergency response, you have complete control over your system, your cameras, and your internet. And systems start as low as $29.95. All you have to do is call for that free demo and consultation today. I think you'll be duly impressed. They're great people, and the company is unbelievably good at what they do. That's safetouch.com. Stay licensed DF233.
Right from the start, we've always been on the go. And once we got going, we never slowed down. So for the past 100 years at Pep Boys, we've kept our promise to keep you moving. And we plan on keeping it for at least 100 more. Pep Boys, we go further to help you go farther. Now through August 31st at Pep Boys, get free installation instantly on a set of 4 Michelin or BF Goodrich tires. See pepboys.com for complete details.
Hey Orlando, this is Paul Anka for PDQ.
PDQ from start to closing, afternoon to night. Made to order, never frozen, with love in every bite. Quality that's fast and fresh, that's our pledge to you. For chicken just made so much better, count on PDQ.
International Diamond Center's best event of the year is happening now with your choice of 2 incredible offers. Offer number 1, an instant 25% savings on all wedding bands. You heard it right. Now, for a limited time, get our best price ever on all wedding bands, 25% off across the board. Or if you prefer, you can take advantage of offer number 2, 0 interest financing for 36 months on any purchase, and IDC will even cover your first 2 payments. This incredible finance option is for everything: rings, pendants, bands, bracelets, designer jewelry, even certified diamonds. Pick any item, spread your payments over 3 years with 0 interest, and as a bonus, IDC will even cover your first 2 payments. So you can save big on wedding bands or take advantage of this incredible finance offer. Whichever you choose, you can't lose during IDC's Summer of Savings event, now through the end of August, only at International Diamond Center. 4 Orlando locations on approved credit.
This view was worth a hike.
Right? And it's a good way to stay on top of my health.
Yes, I'm Cologuard, a prescription colon cancer screening option for people 45 plus at average risk. Have you screened for colon cancer?
Not yet.
Don't wait. It's more treatable when caught in early stages.
Tell me more.
Cologuard is non-invasive and it's used at home. It detects altered DNA in your stool to find 92% of colon cancers.
92%?
Yep, even those in early stages.
This was seen in a clinical study with patients 50 and older. Any positive result should be followed by a diagnostic colonoscopy. False positive and negative results may occur. Cologuard is not a replacement for colonoscopy in high-risk patients. Do not use if you have had adenomas, have inflammatory bowel disease and certain hereditary syndromes, or a personal or family history of colon cancer.
Most insured patients pay $0. Ask your provider or an online prescriber if Cologuard is right for you, or visit Cologuard.com.
I'm in.
Take a break from the flame war. Your racist brother-in-law isn't going anywhere. Real Radio Orlando on Facebook. Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. We now return to the Jim Colbert Show. Already.
Cool in the Gang usually really good at raising the vibe of a room.
Yeah. We're going to need like 5 of them.
we need cool in all the gangs. All right, welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1. Thanks again for all your calls and all your texts of encouragement. I deeply appreciate that. I really do. As I try to hold it together here for the last hour of the program.
You got this.
Yeah, it is just simply tough because, as you start talking about it more, you start thinking about it more, and that's the worst possible thing to do. It's completely out of my control. And my logical side says, this is how I live my life. Can't control it, F it, move on. Find the stuff you can control and control the balls out of it until it does what you want. That's what I've done my entire effing life. I have no grip on this. Like, I can't control it. I can't reach to the phone and snatch her up and go, get the thing. Come on. What are you doing? Get the thing. Do it. I can't do that. And I've done that in my entire life. That's why I sit here, is because I've done that. I've snatched up everything I thought that I could control that got me to this point, and I did it. I handled it. And this I cannot do, and it is driving me blanking nuts. Welcome back. I'm Jim. Deb, Jack, and Ross are here as well. Let's find out what's in the sauce jar. Maybe it's some Smiles.
No, it's Whiplash.
From that pivot, baby.
Where's that gin?
Guys, the sauce jar.
And here's Ken Miller with some comedy.
And you know what's awesome is that I think I'm going to tickle you and see how it goes.
Yeah, there we go.
Go for it.
I have a beautiful pair of tickets to see the Orlando Pride versus Portland this Saturday, August 14th. At Exploria Stadium. Of course, the game time is at 7. The girls are playing good, by the way. The ladies are killing it this year. Very entertaining. So, vamos Orlando Pride and vamos just the city of Orlando right now when it comes to soccer. I love it. And that is your sauce jar, which is brought to you by
Cento Family Moving and Storage. Go local with your move. It can be residential or commercial. And if you mention the Jim Colbert Show, you'll get a discount. So, book them today at centomoving.com. That's CENTO moving.com. No time left, Jim. Back to you.
Yeah, all right, Ross. Who goes first today, buddy?
Let's welcome Adrian on line 4.
Adrian, how are you?
I'm great. And yourself?
I'm doing all right, buddy. I've had better Mondays, that's for sure. But we're gonna get through it. You want to play a little game with us, buddy?
Definitely.
Let's do it.
Game show.
All right, Adrian, this is really easy. I got a question here for you. 4 answers. One of them is a lie. If you can find it, I will send you to the sauce jar and, of course, out to the Pride game. And we'll get you registered for the Summer of Stuff as well. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Here we go. On this day in 1968, Australian actor, unassuming action star,
Hugh Jackman.
He's been a superhero.
Russell
Chris
Crowe.
Hemsworth.
He was the lead in a Spielberg movie. You're not going to get this one, and you're going to kill yourself when I tell you the answer. Eric Bana was born. There you go. Here are 3 fun facts about Eric and one hulking lie. Number 1, his actual name is Eric Banadinovich. Eric Banadinovich is his real name.
I don't know the other options, but I do know which one I would guess.
Number 2, he's 60% deaf in his left ear.
Wow.
Number 3, he started out as a stand-up comic.
Whoa.
And lastly, he's of German and Croatian descent. Which of those is a lie?
The one where he is deaf.
God dang it, you got it right off the bat, buddy.
Yay!
There you go. You are a winner.
Right.
Actually, is the good thing today because we're short on time.
Yeah,
buddy.
we are.
Thanks for winning early. You're the only guy I'll ever say that to, Adrian. There you go. There's your prize. Run with it. A couple other things we learn about Eric Bana before we find out about Ross's Key West trip to do some comedy down there, which I need direly. His actual name is Eric Banadinovich. He did start out as a stand-up comic. Matter of fact, that's what he was known for, and part of a comedy troupe, by the way.
Nice.
And he's got famous for doing an impersonation of Tom Cruise because he's 6'3", like 210, and of course Tom Cruise is a pissant. He's been married to the same woman for 25 years.
Wow.
Yeah. This guy's a gamer, by the way. His father-in-law was the former Chief Justice of Australia. So imagine the head of the Supreme Court of Australia is his father-in-law.
Don't want to screw up there.
Nope. He was personally chosen for 2 of his biggest supporting roles by the star of the movie. Brad Pitt chose him personally to play in Troy, and Russell Crowe chose him personally for Black Hawk Down.
Wow, cool.
Did not have to audition for either one of those roles. 2 massive roles for him, and then lastly, like I said, he's 6'3", but he's medium sized in his family because one of his brothers is 6'8", and I think his dad is also like 6'6". So he comes from a big old hulking family there from Germany. Ross, what's coming up, buddy?
Someone had to give birth to that.
Yeah, I see. I mean, they were smaller at birth.
Yeah, a little bit.
Explain to Deb how it works.
So I was just a silly joke. Guys, I went to Key West, and I have some hot takes about Key West. Like, how is this not our capital?
Of Florida or the country?
Florida, country,
Got it.
all of it.
It needs to be a capital of something.
Come on,
All
let's
right,
go.
Let's go.
Saving our love and affection for the completely unattainable. Dear Scarlett Johansson. Real Radio 104.1.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center. Car crash? Call Clausman Law.
Old Winter Garden Road remains closed due to an accident east and westbound affected between Mercy Drive and Ferguson Drive. Consider the 408 or Colonial Drive, and we'll let you know when this reopens. We're still looking at stop and go traffic westbound on I-4 between Sand Lake Road and Central Florida Parkway, as well as eastbound between Osceola Parkway and State Road 535. See traffic problems? Call the SafeTouchSecurity.com traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Paige Carrera.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Discover matches all the cash back you earn on your credit card at the end of your first year. It's amazing because Discover is accepted at 99% of places in the U.S. that take credit cards. Learn more at discover.com/yes. 2021 Nielsen Report limitations apply.
I love saving money. That's one of the reasons I love my solar system. I have saved thousands of dollars that did not go to the power company because I didn't need it. I didn't need to buy power from the power company when I was producing it on the roof of my home every sunny day. I'm making electricity. You can as well with Solar Source. How many power bills are you going to pay before you go to solarsource.com and start saving? Not only that, you reduce your carbon footprint. The news today about the state of the situation with the environment and what we can do. Reducing our carbon footprint is a big step in the right direction, and you can do that with solar panels and save money. I've been doing it, and so more importantly, Solar Source has been doing it since 1984. They've installed over 60,000 systems in Central Florida. So that's a company you can trust with an industry-leading 25-year warranty. Check them out. Even if you already have a system from someone else, Solar Source, their service team can restore it to peak performance. Check it out. Get your free savings estimate today at their website. It's solarsource.com. Again, it's solarsource.com. When you talk to them, tell them Jack from Real Radio sent you. When it comes to power, trust the source. Solar Source.
What? Just 15 seconds to talk about Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea? That smooth taste of real brewed tea with just the right kick of alcohol. What? We started already. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Look for it in the bright yellow cans.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
A bounce check can be expensive. Why risk it when an Amscot cash advance could cost a lot less? Up to $500 on the spot with no credit check, and it won't hurt your credit rating. Amscot. Some restrictions apply.
You grabbed a nice coffee and muffin this morning. You made it to work exactly on time. You're feeling like a 10, but there's something that comes after 10. 11. Feeling like an 11 looks like grabbing a nice coffee, a slice of pizza, and a trucker hat for breakfast, because pizza's an anytime meal, and because you're trying to bring trucker hats back. 11 is buying toilet paper and sidewalk chalk, because they're both things that you absolutely need. And yes, you did all that. Got to work on time, snuck 7 select kettle chips into your first meeting, and shared them with the CEO. That's so 11. 7-Eleven. Take it to 11.
Get ready. Saving starts with Xfinity. Because when you get Xfinity Internet and mobile together, you can save up to $400 a year on your wireless bill. Enjoy fast, reliable internet at home and nationwide 5G on the go, included at no extra cost. That means you can connect to everything you love, whether you're a next-level gaming aficionado, an online shopping mastermind, or crushing that research project. So go ahead, stream on all your devices or video chat from anywhere and save hundreds while doing it, because saving starts with Xfinity. Get Xfinity Internet for $20 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Plus, add Xfinity Mobile and ask how to get an eligible 5G phone on us. And for a limited time, $300 back. Don't miss out. Go to Xfinity.com/start saving. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Internet offer ends 9/7/21 and requires paperless billing and autopay. Restrictions apply. New performance starter internet customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Savings based on optimized pricing. Actual savings may vary.
It's time to toast your day with your favorite topped, toasty, and tasty eats from Dunkin'. You could top your day with the new bacon-topped avocado toast, featuring delicious crumbled cherrywood smoked bacon. Or you could warm up to an avocado toast or grilled cheese melt. America runs on Dunkin'.
This view was worth a hike.
Right? And it's a good way to stay on top of my health.
Yes, I'm Cologuard, a prescription colon cancer screening option for people 45 plus at average risk. Have you screened for colon cancer?
Not yet.
Don't wait. It's more treatable when caught in early stages.
Tell me more.
Cologuard is non-invasive and it's used at home. It detects altered DNA in your stool to find 92% of colon cancers.
92%?
Yep, even those in early stages.
This was seen in a clinical study with patients 50 and older. Any positive result should be followed by a diagnostic colonoscopy. False positive and negative results may occur. Cologuard is not a replacement for colonoscopy in high-risk patients. Do not use if you have had adenomas, have inflammatory bowel disease and certain hereditary syndromes, or a personal or family history of colon cancer.
Most insured patients pay $0. Ask your provider or an online prescriber if Cologuard is right for you, or visit Cologuard.com.
I'm in.
This hour of programming brought to you in part by FAS Windows and Doors.
Find out just how much you can save on your monthly mortgage payments at rpfunding.com. I'm Robert Palmer, and I want to help you save thousands by refinancing your home loan and letting me pay your closing costs. Rates this low can't last forever, so lock in today. NMLS 70168, Equal Housing.
Buy direct from the manufacturer and save. Fence Outlet manufactures its own tongue and groove vinyl privacy fence right here in Florida. For 25 years, they have provided the best fencing in Florida. Set up your appointment for a free estimate online now. Go to fenceoutlet.com. License number C-10252. NC-10803.
If you have a medical malpractice claim, call Pound Law from your cell phone. Morgan & Morgan.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the personal injury law firm of Kaufman and Lynch Studio. Car accidents, other injuries, call pound 546 from your cell or visit whenyouneedus.com. You're listening to WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Available everywhere with the iHeartRadio app. Now number 1 for podcasting. We are an iHeartRadio station. The Jim Colbert Show returns now on Real Radio.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1, 407-916-1041. Always text us at 77031. Again, I'll thank you guys for continually sending the text. We're reading every one of them through the breaks. Again, I appreciate it very much as we go through this difficult time with our family. I know that a lot of people out there are dealing with much more difficult situations than I'm dealing with now. Not asking for sympathy by any means, and my heart goes out to everybody who has a scenario even worse than mine. And you guys sharing that, there's something very cathartic that we're part of right now, and I deeply appreciate both sides of this. I really do. Welcome back. I am Jim. Deb is here along with Jack. Let's get some Ross thoughts.
It's weird.
Pivot.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Let's go.
It's Ross. Spelled like sauce.
Key West.
It's Ross Thoughts.
And here's Ross Padgett with some comedy.
Ross Thoughts is brought to you by the sweet urine smell that is Key West. And some corners.
Yeah.
I'm not here to make fun of Key West. I'm just saying.
Is that the sign, the level of urine smell is a sign of how much fun you're going to have in that particular city?
Absolutely. Yes.
I think that's a really good litmus test. If you go into a city and it's the more like pee it smells, the more fun you're going to have.
So, first of all,
you'll have a blast in parking garage stairwells.
Yeah, no, that's where all the fun happens. And it's kind of, sort of, you'll catch something, a football, an STD. Right. Who knows what you're catching?
Meth needle.
Here's a fun fact about Key West that blew my mind, is it's closer to Cuba than it is Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Word?
Yeah.
No idea. So this past weekend, there's a comedy club, believe it or not, only one. There's one comedy club.
Because the rest are all bars.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
There's only one comedy club down in Key West, and it's honestly one of the best gigs that I get like every year or 2 years whenever they're like, let's bring back the Big Bird guy. So they have an absolute trip with me, and I have an absolute trip with them, man. Shows were Thursday, Friday, Saturday. The pay is all right. The pay is pretty solid. They put me up in a cool like little Airbnb/hotel kind of thing.
It's nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, I saw the pool pictures and stuff. It looked like you guys are having a blast.
Walking distance to everything. Speaking of pool, there's a place called Dante's down there. You ever heard of Dante's?
Inferno?
Yeah, well, it's ironic that it's called Dante's because they do have a pool there, but it burns like hell.
Why?
Because it is filthy.
Oh,
it is gnarly, man.
Worse than your pool?
Way worse.
What?
Way worse. Worse. There is something something going down in that pool.
Well, it's filled with rainwater.
Something's going down in that pool, and I think her name is Brittany. All right? It is not. It is borderline orgy at times.
Yeah.
And it was so weird. I literally heard the story about this pool down there, is that I had a friend, one of the locals, or as they like to call themselves, one of the conks.
Mm-hmm. It's a conk republic, baby.
It's a conk republic, baby. I love that. I like how,
no shoes needed, flip-flops and T-shirts only.
I like how the gay community has gold stars, and then Key West has conks. They are the kings.
Careful how you pronounce that.
They are the kings of Key West. But in this pool, I overheard a conk, a local, tell me, like, yeah, my friend showed up there with a cut and almost lost her leg.
Mm-hmm.
Whoops. What is going on?
Yeah, infected with something nasty, staph
also,
or
God,
MRSA.
how amazing is it that imagine a forest without any trees, and instead of a bunch of animals, there is a bunch of animals, but it's not like elephants and giraffes. It's just chickens. Tons and tons of chickens.
Okay.
Just straight necking.
Oh, just
necking
strutting.
around.
Just strutting.
Doing the strut.
Should have seen a lot of cats down there too, right?
I did see cats.
Mhm.
They have the thumbed cats over
the six-toed cats.
Yeah, the six-toed cats over in Hemingway's house.
It was 5.
I don't know. Who God knows. I was drinking. Honestly, in my vision, they had 9. They had 9
That's
fingers all around on those cats.
Was it crowded?
It was a little crowded, but
I don't know. I don't think this is season.
It is not.
Yeah, it's off season, right? Because it's super hot down there. Season starts in fall down there.
But everyone was having an absolute riot of a time. Jim, what do you know about hogfish? You ever hogfish?
I know what a hogfish is. Yeah, I've cooked some hogfish. It's damn good.
I hogfished my hog out.
Yeah, hog snapper.
What?
It's a snapper. It's damn good.
I love. And you know how how you kill a hogfish? With a spear gun. You know how easy it is? This cracked me up too. Apparently, when you go fishing for hogfish, you have to shoot it with a gun, but right when they see you, they're like, uh-oh, I gotta hide. So I'm going to stay completely still.
Oh, man. And then it's basically easy targets.
Easy
they freeze.
targets
It's
all
like those
day.
sleeping goats.
Yeah, the conks win against the hogfish. Key lime pie, delicious.
Right.
Give it to me. I almost put it in my pocket. It's
and
raw.
and it's not green.
Oh.
It's like a pale yellow color with a tinge of green. That's what good key lime pie should look like.
Phenomenal.
Oh, man. It is and it only takes a sliver if it's made right to really get you right.
Have you ever been to Duval Street, Deb?
I have. I've been to Key West once.
And how old were you? That's a very.
It was just like 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh man,
I loved it.
So, how many things did you catch?
Nothing.
How many hogfish?
Yeah, hogfish.
I thought you meant he meant STDs.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, I didn't go to that parking garage.
I think that's my end game. I think that's
you're gonna end up in Key West.
That's where you want to retire. You want to be part of the Conk Republic.
He wants to get an STD.
I might be one of those people. I kind of want to go down there and just wrap up my days down in Key West.
Yeah, if you go to a party, you have to rent pants.
Yeah, I want to go south. I want my body to go south.
Buddy, that's the south
when I'm in Key West.
That's the south that you could get here, partner.
I think also I jokingly said this, but I'm dead serious. It really should be like even more famous. It should be.
It's pretty darn. It's infamous, is what it is.
It's infamous because it is something else.
Well, not to mention it's infamous now, but it's been that way forever. It's been a pirate haven. I mean, it's been every possible thing you can be in Key West. It's been.
Jackie, have you been?
About half a dozen times.
Yeah, baby. Of course you have. You can't look at you, you little dirty girl. You little dirty girl down in Key West.
You know it. You know that one was in that parking garage.
You should go to Fantasy Fest, buddy.
Yeah.
You do not. If you think you can get it from the pool, you can walk around with just an open sore in the air in Fantasy Fest.
Yeah, Fantasy Fest.
And
you thought COVID was bad. You better buckle up.
You can come up. You can get back with all the hepatitis, A through 9.
We did 2 radio trips there, 2 years in a row to Fantasy Fest.
Bring it back.
Yeah,
I didn't know Phillips got down.
Let me tell you, you can see stuff down there you can't even explain to somebody. You can literally go, I've got a great story to tell you about Key West, and then not be able to tell it because you don't even know how to word it.
I went to the beach. And I saw some people that I'm pretty sure might be white. I don't know because I love the local tan. There's the me tan, which is like, okay, this guy's from Alaska. This guy looks like the fish I just filleted.
And then there's the tan that looks like a perfectly cooked hamburger.
Yeah. What's
like
up
that
with the well done?
crispy brown, like ox blood? It's not even a color of brown, really. It's more red, like more of a rash.
It's that tan that you walk up to a guy and you're like, "Oh, cool! This is the coolest 80-year-old I've ever met." And he's like, "I'm 28." And you're like, "Oh my god,
you should moisturize.
You are sagging. You look like a big old nut sack or something, man. You are wrinkly."
And you can't even stab people down there. The knife is just defenseless. So you can't make it through that. That's hide. That's not even skin. It turns into hide.
I kept thinking though, is like if people ever got away from Key West, who would win between the iguanas and the chickens? I'm team iguana. I saw some iguanas out there that I was like,
they will straight rip your face off with that tail, buddy. They will whip you crazy.
I'm pretty sure I saw an iguana. I saw 3 iguanas, and all of a sudden Chris Pratt just showed up and started training them.
Yeah, I gotta tell you though, don't sleep on chickens. They're mean AF.
I saw a chicken, and you know how many times I was a little tipsy and I saw a chicken cross the road? You have to laugh at that, right?
You do, right?
You have to laugh at it.
And you get tons of opportunities to do that down
and
there.
I finally figured out why the chicken crossed the road, especially down in Key West.
Why?
They're trying to see them boobies, all right? They're trying to see tan breasts.
Listen, there's a couple places there. You can go into the bar and you can go, hey, where's the party? And they'll go upstairs, and your face will breach the stairs upstairs, and all you'll look around, and you'll see just a forest of 70-year-old tan dongs.
No.
Oh yeah.
Lovely.
Oh yeah, and also shout out to how funny those scooter accidents are.
How many did you see?
I saw 2.
It's like a death sentence on
I
those
was there
things.
for 3 days. I almost averaged seeing a scooter accident per day, and one of them was like, "Ooh, that one's bad." Yeah. Got up, guys like, oh man. Now let's go. Where are we going?
Insurance covered.
Yeah, like you are bleeding from your ass right now. You need to step up.
Oh, that was before the accident.
Right.
Actually.
Yeah, what he's
That's-
running from.
Those are your Ross thoughts. I promise you, if you've never been to Key West, you need to change that. It is an absolute riot of a time. It's very, very fun, and I joke around how it's not. It's completely safe. It's so much fun. It is truly, I think, the cherry on top that is Florida. It's what Florida deserves. Those are your Ross thoughts. I'm out. Peace.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Our buddy Stephen Kramer up net. What? You got an update?
No.
Oh, God.
I was just going to say Key West. It is the tip of the never mind.
Oh, yeah.
I'm out.
We know what goes there. We'll be right back with Stephen Kramer.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7. It's a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Brought to you by Gringos Locos and SecuredRoofingAndRestoration.com. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James, Miguel, Mikey, and Ken. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center, shop the rest. Buy from the best. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Old Winter Garden Road remains closed due to an accident east and westbound affected between Mercy Drive and Ferguson Drive. Consider the 408 or Colonial Drive, and we'll let you know when this reopens. We're still looking at stop-and-go traffic westbound on I-4 between Sand Lake Road and Central Florida Parkway, as well as eastbound between Osceola Parkway and State Road 535. See traffic problems? Call the SafeTouchSecurity.com traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Paige Carrera.
This report is sponsored by WaltDisneyWorld.job.
Be a part of the magic. Walt Disney World Resort is offering a hiring bonus of $1,000 for housekeeping and select culinary roles. Receive weekly pay, tuition assistance, and childcare support. Visit WaltDisneyWorld.jobs to apply. That's WaltDisneyWorld.jobs.
You can save money on your power bills by replacing your windows. And when you do, go to FAS Windows and Doors. Great people, great product, though. They installed new windows in my home, immediately improved the energy efficiency of my home, but also improved the security of my home with security impact glass. These windows are stronger than those single-pane aluminum frame windows that my house was built with in the 70s. I love these windows. Vinyl-sided, double-pane, low-E windows keeps the outside noise where it belongs, adds instant curb appeal as well. FAS Windows and Doors. You find them online at FASWD.com. You can stop by their showroom. It's in Winter Park on Fairbanks, right off of I-4, right next to Skycraft there. It's FASWD.com.
Racetrack is a convenience store that has whatever gets you going all summer long. You can create any combo that you want. You want to know what my combo is? Here we go. Crazy good coffee for breakfast, of course. Then I get a slice of pizza. Yeah, I have pizza for breakfast. It's okay. You can get a breakfast sandwich or any other type of breakfast item. They have those as well. For lunch, I'm going to go a little healthy. Maybe I get a salad. Kidding. I'm going with the hot dog. I'm also getting a fountain drink. It's summer, folks. Let's enjoy it while we have it. And then you can get a big old bag of ice, have it for the cooler, for whatever else you have the next summer day. Because Racetrack just wants you to go in there and grab whatever gets you going.
When it comes to power, trust the source. SolarSource.com.
There are 16 spots in the playoffs and just one track left. Well, not just any track. Daytona, a last chance to keep playoff hopes alive. It's time to bring your friends and family to watch the drama unfold up close and in person. NASCAR comes to Daytona International Speedway August 27th and 28th. Tickets start at just $49. Get yours at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
Off Lease Only knows shoppers are looking for a nearly new car that fits their budget and lifestyle. I know I am. I've purchased 2 cars from Off Lease Only, and by the end of this year, that will be 3. Because I know, why spend time and energy haggling when you can shop with Off Lease Only and not only save time, but save thousands below retail on your next car, truck, SUV, or van. At Off Lease Only, you get to leave the stress behind, find peace of mind with no haggling, no negotiating, no pressure, and no hidden fees. Don't pay more. Choose from fresh inventory that's arriving daily. Your trade-in is always wanted at Off Lease Only. It's never been a better time to trade in and trade up. Get pre-qualified online now at offleaseonly.com, where you can also shop online or call 407-222-CARS. Or even take a test drive at their massive state-of-the-art location just off the beach line at Narcoossee and McCoy. Don't wait. Get started today at offleaseonly.com.
Need to turn your home equity into cash? This is Robert Palmer, and home values are at an all-time high. Smart homeowners are accessing home equity at today's low rates. But don't use your home equity to pay closing costs. Let me pay them instead. Visit rpfunding.com for details. NMLS 7168, Equal Housing.
If your grocery delivery is just okay, that's not okay. But good news. Now Kroger is here to not just deliver groceries, but over-deliver with freshness guaranteed. And the coolest trucks. Literally, they're refrigerated to beat the heat, so your salad always has that farm fresh snap. Sound more than okay? Then order today at Kroger.com. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
For a limited time, you can get $15 off your next 3 orders for savings up to $45. Offer valid with digital coupon while supplies last.
Miles of pristine white sand below, expansive cerulean blue skies above, and wonderment everywhere you look. This is St. Pete Clearwater in the fall. Here, the senses awaken with the first morning light. Emerald green waters gently lap the shore. A calming Gulf breeze floats through the air. It's vivid, it's vibrant, and it's the perfect getaway. Plan your fall escape to America's best beaches at visitstpeteclearwater.com.
Right from the start, we've always been on the go. And once we got going, we never slowed down. So for the past 100 years at Pep Boys, we've kept our promise to keep you moving. And we plan on keeping it for at least 100 more. Pep Boys, we go further to help you go farther. Now through August 31st at Pep Boys, get free installation instantly on a set of 4 Michelin or BF Goodrich tires. See pepboys.com for complete details.
Thousands of free playlists are being created now by people just like you on the free iHeart app. At iHeart, we think every mood and activity deserves a playlist, so we made it totally free for you to start creating your very own. Working out, chilling out, or maybe you're getting ready for tailgate season. We made it super easy. Start by searching for a song, or simply add a song you hear streaming on your favorite station like this one directly into a playlist, and we'll help with the other songs to finish it. Only on the free iHeart app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one.
Any legal issue, Kramer Law, onefirmforlife.com. Offices Altamont Springs.
We now return to the Jim Colbert Show.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1. Hope your week started off great on this Monday.
We know yours did.
Even listening to the program today. I mean, the blessing I have is that I can still talk to my mom and still say hey and try to talk her into something a little more wise than what she's doing now. So I will use the time to do that. And if she still stays resolute in this decision of hers, I'll drive up to Palatka and I'll sit there for the 15 minutes a day I can until I can't. That's what I'm going to do. There's nothing else I can do. There's literally nothing else I can do.
That's it. Just, don't let your time with her pass without you saying anything that you ever wanted to say to her or, and spend the time you can with her and try and make it the best you can.
Absolutely.
It's not easy, buddy.
407-916-1041. It is not.
God, getting old sucks.
It does.
Beats the alternative, Deb. That would be death.
Yeah.
Bad decision.
All right, welcome back. She's over here just moving her hands left and right.
Coin flip. Welcome back. I'm Jim. Deb is here along with Jack and Ross. We are summer stuff. We're waiting on Steve to call in for us here. Summer stuff. He may be trying on the landline, guys. I'm not sure. He tried to pop through on the Zoom and it wasn't coming through, so he may give it a shot there. This week has been kind of an interesting thing already. This Monday, and
it's only Monday.
It's only
dude.
Monday. So I'll give you guys an update. I'm gonna try to talk to my mom again tonight if she'll take my call, and I'll give you an update as we go. And again, thanks to all the people texting the show. How many days do we have left for the summer of stuff?
Well, gosh,
Like
Labor
2
Day
weeks?
is coming up. No.
No.
3 weeks?
4 weeks.
4?
Well, I think. Let's look at
Wait,
the
I'm
calendar.
looking at my
August the
calendar
9th.
right now.
I believe Labor Day is September 6th.
It is.
Yeah,
So
it's
we're
just-
talking the 7th.
So 3 full weeks of
correct.
3 full weeks of registering, which
That's
will, of
it.
course, today, next week, and then the week after that. Then we'll shut her down.
4 weeks.
And then when we come back for the first week of, it'll be the 10th or whatever it is.
No, the 7th.
7th. There you go. We'll come back and give all the stuff away for summer stuff, courtesy of Code Black
You
ID.
can tell we don't rehearse this
Yeah,
part.
no, exactly. And again, it is 4 weeks actually. It's
Thank you.
4
Yeah.
weeks and but that's 4 weeks of registration. That we're going to be able to get that many more folks added in, and it's going to be a small pool of people that you're going to get picked from for the summer of stuff. So it's not going to be like the Florida lottery.
MacBook Pro, 70-inch HD
Yeah,
TV,
no
and of course a
problem.
PS5 bundle, which is everything you could possibly want from a PS5. And like Ross always says, there's no finding one out there, so this will be the one you can certainly get.
Now,
It's the future.
I got a text from attorney Stephen Kramer. Says he's here. We don't have the video, but he says he's here.
You there, buddy?
I'm here.
Hey!
I'm here.
Are you sure? Oh, there you go. Very good.
Where's
Wonderful.
the video?
Stephen Kramer joins us like he does every single Monday here on the Jim Colbert Show. Talk to us about some legal issues. Of course, you can find him up in Altamont Springs. That's where his office is. OneFirmForLife.com online. And like he says in his ads, he handles a number of legal issues. So if you have anything you're trying to figure out which way you should go, Stephen will be a really good place to start. He can give you some good answers there for sure. Stephen, how was your weekend, buddy?
I picked up a nasty cold, not COVID, so I look like hell.
That's going around, by the way. It's the same thing
And I
had.
feel like hell.
Oh, wait a
I
minute.
had about a 72-hour, like, kind of weird sneezing thing that stuck with me. Got COVID tested, not COVID. And I hear more people telling me about what you have that don't know what it is. And they think it's COVID, and they get tested, and it's not. It's just some kind of cold going around.
Did you get tested, Steve?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, a lot of colds are
Get
going
vaccinated.
around. And because they said that our immune systems haven't been getting the workout that they're normally used to, these summer colds are hitting a lot harder.
Hard.
We've had a few coworkers come down get COVID. A couple were vaccinated, but the thing they all had in common, none of them thought they had it when they tested positive.
Right. Yeah.
Whoa.
It's
Oh,
weird.
so they didn't have symptoms.
Yeah.
No, they didn't. They were actually, from what I understand, around people.
Well, one was mild, one is asymptomatic. The other ones were mild as well, and someone else, a husband who's unvaccinated, had to go to the hospital today for it.
Oh,
Oof.
yeah,
That's rough.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah.
Steve, I don't know if you've been listening to the show a little bit. I know you have a couple things you want to talk about. I wanted to ask real quick. the words power of attorney have come up in a scenario I'm dealing with right now. My mom let me know today that she is not going to accept her dialysis treatments any longer. And, of course, I think you and I both know it's stage 5 kidney disease, what that means.
Yes.
Okay, so with that said, we've had a number of texts, and, of course, the words power of attorney have been brought up a number of times. I am not an attorney. You are. And I know what power of attorney means. What I don't know is how you achieve that. Does the person you're trying to get power of attorney over have to agree with it? Or is there a state of mind you have to prove before you can apply that kind of thing before?
So a power of attorney is granted by somebody to their attorney in fact. So I'm an attorney at law. When you name somebody as your attorney in fact, you're appointing them and enabling them to make certain decisions for you. So almost everybody has signed a power of attorney. A lot of times you do it at a car dealership, right? You give them the power of attorney to pull your plates or deal with those issues relating to purchasing a car. You could do a power of attorney for a limited purpose. You could do a power of attorney for much more extensive purposes. And when you're talking about medical setting, what you're talking about is a healthcare setting, a healthcare power of attorney that deals with HIPAA and all kinds of other healthcare issues.
So
she's got to grant it.
She has. Okay, so that's what I thought.
As long as she's still competent,
right? Is just like somebody texted earlier and said and kept saying this over and over again. My mom was of sound mind when she made the decision, and what he was saying by saying that was there was no getting around it. She and if I asked her to grant me the power of attorney, there's no way she'd do it because it would be completely and utterly transparent what I would be trying to do, and it would go against everything she's trying to do.
Well, you can have a limited power of attorney. You can have a durable power of attorney that survives capacity. But the issue is, regardless of what's going on now, at some point, it's a good idea to have somebody named as your attorney, in fact, for healthcare decisions, because at a certain point, especially if you're terminal or you're very ill, you're not going to be able to make those calls. And if you don't name somebody to do that, then that means there's going to be a stranger or the hospital or the state making those decisions.
Well, that's your call alone just for that sentence today has been great because, I mean, if I go to my mom and say, hey, look, and I even tried to kind of shock her back into reality today when she told me this by simply saying, well, have you picked out a plot or do you have a will? Do we know, where your bills are or insurance or any of that? And of course, her comeback was, it sounds like you're trying to put me in the ground now. And I said, Mom, it could not be farther from the truth. If you
well, she's from Palatka. You tell her if you don't have your own plan, the government has one for you.
Right? Exactly. You're right. That's exactly what I should say to her, buddy. I mean, but that's exactly the case. If I look at her and say,
if you don't
Mom,
want to do the planning, leave it to the state of Florida. If you trust everything the government in the state of Florida does, you're in great hands.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
that's a little harsh.
I mean, they hired Joel Greenberg. We should be fine. Anyway,
I mean, I would figure that would be a pretty persuasive argument in Palatka.
Well, I mean, you would think my mom's an island, but she is, she won't even talk to me very long right now, brother. She just doesn't want to hear it. She keeps saying this is my decision. And, and it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, in context that, this is the only thing she can control right now. I've been making every decision for her and it's been for the best for her. But that's from my perspective. It's the best for her.
I mean, the other option is if she doesn't believe that, I've seen this in families. I've seen this in my own family where, your child, you don't believe that your wife or husband can do what you want to be done. You don't want to suffer. You don't want to go through therapy that you really don't want to receive. And you don't have faith that your husband or wife is going to do that. So you ask one of your children or your brother or your sister to do it because you have faith that they'll carry out your intentions. So, that's the other option is, you go to her and you say, even if you don't think I'm going to do this, you need to name somebody, because if not, then, you're trusting these decisions to strangers.
Well, and that's exactly what I'm going to tell her. I mean, I got to call her tonight when I get home. Hopefully she'll be awake. If not, I'll do it first thing in the morning, and I'll just tell her, hey, I talked to an attorney of mine, and he's letting me know that you need to know these things. But let me tell you something, man. When she said that to me about trying to put her in the ground or whatever, I was like, Mom, I just want to, you're making a life or death decision. I have to prepare.
What you're really saying is I want you around longer, Mom.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
But she doesn't see it that way. Again, I think my mom looks at it as something else I'm trying to control of hers. And in reality, I've done none of this in my life. Matter of fact, probably to a fault, I've let my mom live her life the way she's lived it and have made a lot of decisions I have, oh my God, could not have disagreed with more. Namely, leaving my house when she came down here to live here just a few weeks back. She should have never left. But either way, that's what we're dealing with. So I appreciate that heads up, buddy. I'll employ that tonight.
Well, and the other thing is, if you still have capacity, you can revoke a power of attorney.
Right. Yeah.
So it's not going to become an issue until she's no longer lucid and until she's much more ill. And at that point, so even she would be wise to recognize that you're not going to try to keep her alive unnecessarily by that time.
So even with power of attorney, I can tell her, Mom, this doesn't really give me power over you. It just allows me to deal with things if something happens. It doesn't mean I can force you to do anything you don't want to.
That's right. You can step in on her behalf.
Right.
Now, it would survive her incapacity if you did a durable power of attorney. And at a certain point with terminal illness or severe illness, she's likely to become incapacitated. She will at a certain point, probably.
Yeah.
But as long as she's lucid, as long as she has capacity, then she can effectively revoke that power of attorney at any time.
It's always good talking to somebody who's such a pro and has dealt with this and understands everything inside and out. You're so absolute in what you're saying. I really, really appreciate this, Stephen.
Well, and the other thing is it lets you talk to doctors. So, there's a thing called HIPAA. They can't share healthcare information with you. And she may want that. She doesn't have to give you a HIPAA authorization as part of what she does, but you may need to run records from one place to another. You may need to coordinate for doctors. She may want somebody to advocate for her. What about when she gets really ill and she's suffering and you need to ask for palliative care or hospice care? If you're not there to advocate for her, if she hasn't opened that door through, a lot of hospitals have their own forms, but whether she does that through them or does it a little more thorough with an attorney, it puts her in a position to have somebody advocate for her, to get her the best care, get her palliative care, keep her comfortable, rather than suffering later unnecessarily.
Absolutely. Well, and that's been mentioned to me. We know the process of when you decide to end this. This is pretty common, by the way, in hospitals. People do this all the time. That they let you know the steps that you're gonna be experiencing over the next few days. They let you know all of that right up front. And I think maybe even that in itself is a way for the hospital to try to say, "Are you sure?" Because they're like, hey, look, we're just going to give you medication to deal with what's going to happen to your blood, but it can only do so much for so long, and then the inevitable is going to come crashing down.
That's right, and you should always have your own attorney prepare, those documents, whether it's your will or power of attorney, or if you want a DNR, and that may be what your mom wants is a DNR. I've given I've lectured at kidney dialysis centers, about DNRs, about how to handle powers of attorney. I've educated staff on that, and that may be something that she might want to consider as well, because that's and she definitely would want a living will, I would assume, given that she's resigned.
Man, I mean, all that sounds great, but she doesn't seem to be really into all of it. But maybe if I kind of lay that out the way you just did to me, it would help.
Well, there could be a denial component to that too. Facing the grief of dying, I mean, is a difficult situation, and denial is one of those elements of grief, and that may be what you're running up against also.
Steve, I thought I remember when I was going through this situation with my mom, I had power of attorney, but I was told that when she died, so did my power of attorney.
It does.
And then it goes to executors of the estate, then now have control over everything. Because I thought that power of attorney would allow me to then, clean up the business side of things. But that's when I found out that it ended with when my mom passed.
That's right. Yeah. Power of attorney is only applicable for a limited window of time, and it ends at death. And frankly, we have at end of life decisions, we have living wills or advanced directives that come into play that lay out certain conditions where basically you're effectively saying, don't keep me alive artificially, unnecessarily, if I've met these criteria. And then you appoint a healthcare surrogate that typically is lined up in the same way you name somebody as your attorney in fact, so that you've got kind of it's like a Venn diagram. You've got this overlap, but the circles cover a little bit different areas, whether it's financial, healthcare, advanced directive, etc.
And Jimmy, the approach that you might be able to make inroads with your mom is to, whatever her desires are, say, we can do this so legally no one can take that away from you. You whatever you want, we can legally do the paperwork, so that's the way it is, whether it's a living will, power of attorney.
And then in the will, she would just have to name me executor. Is that all it is?
Effectively.
Yeah, so I can get all that pocket cash.
Personal representative is what we call them in Florida.
Sorry.
But, I mean, maybe there's more morbidity associated with the will, and, there are guidelines for when somebody passes away and testate and how the assets pass on. So, it's not the best way to handle things. But if you can get a win on taking care of her and making her end of life dignified and advocating for her health care, that sounds like the bigger priority right now.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it always. Your advice is always helpful, buddy. Every time I call you personally or here on the air, you always give me such great advice. I really do thank you greatly. I know that there have been some big decisions. I was just over at Jetty Park camping this week and saw the Mardi Gras from Carnival, which is one of the most obnoxious things you've ever seen in your entire life. It's not even a ship, really. It's a small city. But and a number of the Royal Caribbean ships were in port as well. But I know some very interesting things are happening with Norwegian.
Yes. So Norwegian Cruise Lines sued the state of Florida. If you'll recall, Governor DeSantis issued an executive order, and then later the legislature passed a law that was signed into effect by Governor DeSantis that effectively forbids businesses from requiring customers to be vaccinated. We've talked about this on air, this saga that's been going on. Of course, Florida sued the CDC. And the cruise lines were stuck between a rock and a hard place because, they've got the CDC saying they need to have their passengers vaccinated in order to sail and giving them conditional sailing conditions. And then, of course, even aside from the CDC's guidelines, they're looking at the market analysis and going, I don't know if we can get people on ships without having vaccine criteria in place. And even if we can, I don't know that we can sail to the ports that we need to sail to. So Norwegian sued Florida. And they asked for an injunction that prevents that law from taking effect, and they have won that injunction now.
Now, what does that mean, though? Because we know that DeSantis, I think, had made a couple comments that he would be willing to fight this all the way to the Supreme Court. He felt that strongly about it. What does this mean in the big picture of cruising out of the state of Florida?
So Norwegian came up with a few arguments that the judge found persuasive, and the judge issued I think a 59-page opinion. One of those arguments was the First Amendment. And basically it was that the government is creating a content restrictive legislation that prevents speech between parties. So the idea is businesses and customers, people should be able to communicate freely, and that's part of the protections afforded by the First Amendment, and that this law impeded the free speech under the First Amendment. And the judge found that persuasive and said that and issued the injunction saying that Norwegian Cruise Lines was likely to win in that argument.
Stephen, this is breaking. This would be interesting to get your opinion on this, but this is breaking news from the Orlando Sentinel that Governor DeSantis is now threatening to withhold the salaries of school leaders who impose mask mandates.
So that would be an entirely separate issue. No, this issue deals with speech between citizens and businesses, and that exchange of that information. Part of what the court dug into on this is that the court found it to be inconsistent in that it didn't deal with COVID testing requirements and other medical information that might be exchanged. It singled out effectively documentation relating to vaccination. So there was the free speech prong of the argument that was persuasive to the court, and the other part that was persuasive was under the Dormant Commerce Clause. And you guys may not. You may or may not know what that is, but basically that is that certain power is reserved to the Congress over interstate commerce, and that states cannot impede that interstate commerce, and they can't burden that interstate commerce. So the argument here was that this regulation in the state of Florida, because of the way it was, there's law in the state of Florida because of the way it was drafted, represented a violation of the Dormant Commerce Clause and impeded interstate commerce. And what the court pointed to was, when you're a cruise line, you're dealing regularly with interstate commerce and also with international commerce, which is part of that analysis, because you've got to sail into ports that may have vaccine requirements. You go into the British Virgin Islands, and you're in a complicated regulatory environment where the ground is shifting on a daily basis because of new medical information, because of new variants, because of Delta and everything else to come along.
Right.
And for that reason, that it represented an undue burden on interstate commerce and was violative of the Dormant Commerce Clause.
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny when you mentioned the whole thing with DeSantis and the cruise, and then that breaks that he's willing to hold salaries for people who try to mandate masks. That's genuinely unbelievable. I mean, it really is kind of unbelievable. It's not. That doesn't seem like the way you handle situations. It just doesn't. It doesn't seem like the way that somebody with a Harvard education would negotiate their way out of a situation. I'm beginning to really kind of not even care about his Harvard education. It doesn't seem to be flexing it much. This is not the way smart people do stuff. Smart people don't.
I've not seen that breaking news, Deb. I did read the executive order. The executive order is crafted much more narrowly and effectively is framed in a different way. But the intention is clear. Do not establish mask mandates at schools. And I think the way that school districts are dealing with this right now, and I haven't seen the reaction on it yet from the state, and that may be what you're talking about, is they're imposing the school districts, many of them are imposing mandates, but giving opt-outs with very specific criteria to parents. I still think many parents, that's not enough for them. And that is, it's interesting when you talk about people that are adults and older people getting sick, people don't nearly get as emotional and invested as their kids getting sick. And I think that's maybe a change in the dynamic here.
It's because people are making decisions for them. That's why. Older people can make their own decisions and have within reality or within reason have power over their own existence and own actions. Kids do not have that. So I think maybe that's why.
I would posit this. I think the entire climate around vaccinations would be vastly different if instead of seeing adults and elderly people in the hospital, you saw a bunch of kids on ventilators. I think, the judgment of the community and society would be vastly different. And what you're seeing is an intersection between parents and developments in disease in the government right now.
Yeah. Stephen, as always, we appreciate your great advice, buddy, and you have helped me out greatly. I'll call you later and continue the conversation. But again, I can't begin to thank you enough. And I know that people listening to the show today hear how well you speak on the whole idea of dealing with situations like this and take it to heart, and we'll lean on you when they need great advice like that as well. But thanks for everything, buddies. We always appreciate it. You can find him in Altamont Springs, onefirmforlife.com. You heard him right there. Just dial it right up. No problem at all. He knows this stuff like the back of his hand, and he can certainly help you with a situation similar to mine for sure. Stephen, have a great week. We'll see you next week.
You too.
All right, man. All right, 407-916-1041. Let's load him up for last call, guys. Get the hell out of here on this Monday and start a new one right after this.
Make us think or make it funny. Just make it good. Get on board now for last call. 407-916-1041. Brought to you by Heineken.
This Real Radio 1041 weather report sponsored by Rude Air Conditioning, powered by Ferguson HVAC.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner with your Fox 35 Central Florida forecast. And this week, tracking and developing tropical system coming out of the Caribbean set to bring rain and possible winds to our region as soon as this weekend. In the meantime, dissipating rain chances before that rolls in for the weekend. A 40% chance for the rest of this evening. Tomorrow, a 40% chance during the afternoon, the high 92. By Thursday, rain chances down to 20%, but then they ramp back up for the weekend with the approach of that system. For the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Brooks Garner.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples Connect has innovative tools. This week, get 30% back in Staples Store bonus when you spend $85 on ink or $200 on toner. In-store only. Offer ends 8/21, limit 4. Visit staplesconnect.com/store bonus for details. Staples Connect, the working and learning store.
Good God almighty. Just open your door a little bit. Feel that devil sneaking inside? That's that humidity and heat in Florida, and it ain't going away for a while. And if you ever thought that there's a chance, not even an inkling of a chance, your AC is going to give up the ghost on you while it's this hot, Mills Air, man. Mills, M-I-L-L-S, Mills Air knows how to keep your AC running, and they know how to keep it running for a long time. They have the parts on their trucks to fix almost every problem out there, and their techs are extremely talented. Of course, background check, license bonded, the whole thing. So when they come to your property, not only are they going to know the business, they're going to know the machine, and like I said, probably have the parts on the truck to fix it right there. That preventive maintenance plan from these guys is an absolute must. It's like a tune-up for your AC system, so when the brutal Florida heat comes, you know in the back of your head, that's the last thing you need to worry about is your AC. Mills Air's got your back. Even better if you do need a new unit. Carrier factory authorized dealers with up to $2,700 in rebates towards that Carrier unit. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier and certainly turn to the experts at Mills Air. Family owned and operated, in business for almost 30 years here in Central Florida, and they want to help you right now. 407-277-1159. Also online, it's millsair.com.
With 7-Eleven 7 Rewards, you can get a 79-cent Big Gulp drink full of whatever you're into. It's a totally judgment-free zone, just as long as you have 79 cents. Soft drinks, craft lemonades, energy drinks, sports drinks. Mix them, don't mix them. This is America. Inside that Big Gulp cup is a big, safe space to let your freak flag fly with 79 cents. 7-Eleven, take it to 11. Expires 8/24/21. 79 cents plus tax were applicable at select stores. See app for terms.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
For many men, divorce brings a bewildering sense of loss. You feel adrift, isolated, like you're the only person in the world. But the good news is you're not alone. Cordell & Cordell can help guide you through all aspects of divorce. Let us be there for you.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Orlando area attorneys. Office in Orlando. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com.
Napa know-how. Right now, a 5-quart jug of Napa full synthetic motor oil is just $18.99. It keeps your engine from breaking down without breaking the bank. Yep, a 5-quart jug of Napa full synthetic for $18.99 is not just a great deal. It's the break you've been waiting for. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how. Napa know-how. At participating locations does not include state local taxes or recycling fees. Advertised sales price may not be available in some states. Offer ends 8/31/21.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a broken traffic light. Stop and go is the name of my game. It's easy. You go, they go. What was it? They go, you go? And if you have the wrong car insurance, these repair costs could stop you in your tracks. So get Allstate's new low auto rate and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Not available in every state, based on coverage and limits selected. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Wow, I've got a whole 5 minutes before my next call. What should I do? Grab a snack? Nah. Text with mom? That's more than a 5-minute proposition. I have been looking at getting a new bank account. Is that even possible?
Can't believe you have extra time? You won't believe what you can do with it. Open a Regions checking account online in as little as 5 minutes. Then enjoy award-winning service and banking tools and tech that help you live in the moment. Learn more at regions.com/live in the moment. Regions Bank, member FDIC.
Okay, so the IKEA 10-year family celebration is here, and we have got a lot to cover.
Taking notes as we speak.
So we've got coupons.
Yep.
Giveaways.
You know it.
And limited time offers.
Already on the shelves.
Great. Oh, lastly, we'll need more chairs.
How many?
Oh, just 22 million.
Right.
It's the celebration of a decade, so let's make sure they all know to go visit their local IKEA store or to IKEA-USA.com now through August 22nd to learn more or become a member today.
Got it.
Oh, you're the best.
I know.
If you've been thinking, it's probably time to change my oil, you're probably right. So head to Advance Auto Parts and grab an oil change bundle. 5 quarts of Mobil 1, Valvoline, Castrol, or Pennzoil Full Synthetic Oil, and a qualifying premium oil filter for just $37.99. And right now, when you choose a Castrol Edge bundle, you also get Grind Boss wipes free. Advance your auto at Advance Auto Parts and participating CarQuest locations. See store for details.
Make the most of your investments. Certified Financial Group. Call pound 250 keyword certified planner.
Instagram, it's not just for dog pick. Oh my God, look at this cute puppy.
At Real Radio 1041.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show on Real Radio 104.1.
Somebody texted us earlier saying, hey, look, not really enjoying the program today, but maybe you can archive this so when I'm going through this stuff with my parents, you can replay it. I know it's a bit of a bummer of a Monday, guys. I appreciate you guys tolerating it. And again, thank you for all the kind advice and words of encouragement throughout the day. Hopefully we'll be back tomorrow with a little something more poppy and fun to talk about than what we had to deal with today.
We're just keeping...
I'd like to tell that person to eat a bag of... You know, and that's what we do here.
Yeah.
It's
sometimes we do. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a composite.
Look,
it's a balance.
The great thing is I know it as much as anybody. Like, I'm a fan of talk radio, which I listen to quite often. So these shows intrigue me, but I don't want them, every day. But I mean, this is what we do. I talk about these things because I know that everybody has a relating situation, and I'm not looking for sympathy or anything like that. I'm simply trying to relate to you guys that everybody deals with these scenarios. It just happens to be my turn. Yeah.
All the more reason to enjoy and laugh with tonight's What'd You Do That's New for us to review tomorrow.
For sure. By the way, we do have three lines open.
What are we watching?
407-916-1041. Of course, that's 407-916-1041. Three lines open for last call. Hop on board, please.
We are watching Jack, a Netflix documentary, 1 hour and 26 minutes, featuring the stars like Sting, Sarah Silverman, Nick Offerman, A$AP Rocky. You'll never look at rainbows the same. It's called Have a Good Trip, Adventures in Psychedelics.
Great pick.
I picked
You've already seen it?
Yes, I have.
Have you?
It's good.
So
when
have
I saw that, I saw how many times Sting is in it. I'm like, oh, Deb would love
Hold
this.
up for a second now.
know.
You guys have already seen the LSD thing?
I haven't.
I'm the only nerd out?
You and I have. And this is why I picked this. By the way, how many lines open do we have for last call?
Three lines still.
Three lines?
Yeah, three lines.
407-916-1041. I picked this because it's a room divider. That side has experienced this. You and I, Jimmy, have.
Easy with that.
Yeah.
Well,
Allegedly.
I'm talking about Ross.
I'm tripping balls right now.
Yeah, he is.
But you and I have not. And just the trailer made me laugh my ass off.
Terrifies me. Terrifies me. I thought about doing it before just to have that life experience. I don't know, man. I just did. I don't like. That's what I'm talking
about. Not
about.
acid. No. What about shrooms, though?
No.
I mean, the documentary's about all hallucinogens.
Yeah.
I only know of those two. That's
all right. 407.
Those are the main ones.
916-1041. Two lines open for last call. Deb, who do we have to thank today?
We want to thank Brandon Kravitz, attorney Stephen Kramer, and Code Black IT for supplying our summer of stuff.
Yeah, Steve had a great call. I just texted him a second ago and thanked him so much for his call. Very, very knowledgeable about this stuff.
Yes.
And it's so important to have somebody that really knows the unique. I mean, just the idea of your power of attorney stopping at death and then not being able to execute the estate if you need to. You know, how many people knew that? I didn't know that.
I learned that one the hard way.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I know. And I know you did, brother.
Not only that, Jimmy, but even just the lesson that you explained earlier, just trying to pay your mom's car payment, the difficulty you had in that, and the need for having good, sound legal advice.
I think somebody summed it up quickly here on the texting service. Jimmy's bent over today and spread his heart cheeks.
No.
God, that's so
And
gross.
showed his gooey center.
That's so gross. So gross.
That is the show title. Jimmy bent over and spread his heart cheeks and showed us his gooey center.
That's a lot of work for Jack.
I mean,
very wordy.
I liked it.
It's a fun acronym.
It
now.
is. All right, lines are full. Stand up. Do we have a Twitter? What are we doing here?
We have our Instagram winner of the day, Mr. Meaties.
Meaties? M-E-A-T-I-E-S?
He hangs out with footballies.
M-E-A-T-T-E-Z.
Oh, Meaties or Meaties or whatever.
Oh, no, he means Meaties.
It's
All right.
Meat Tez.
Okay, there you go.
So I think he's Spanish.
You're now part of the summer of stuff for sure. Now let's get to these last calls here. Tom, how you doing? Last call.
Hey, after seeing that camera flying around the studio, thank God for Dramamine.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. Sorry about that. Thinking the same thing, actually. Beth, last call.
Hey, my dear darling, my legs hurting so bad, but I want to tell you, I loved PTK yesterday. Kelly's homemade
ice cream. It's the best. Try that toasted coconut, Beth. If you can ever get your hands on it, it'll change the way you look at food. Guaranteed. Lisa, last call.
My message for Governor DeSantis is, you're fired, Papini.
I don't know what that means. Is
I
that
know.
bad?
It's Italian sauce.
Very
legit.
Paul, last call.
Hey, brother. Thoughts out to you and bless you and your family. Yeah, just a quick story about Key West, man.
Very quick.
All right, brother. You know what a Key West pork chop is?
I don't.
Budweiser.
Okay. All right, we'll put you in there, Paul. You're the guy. You're now registered for the summer of stuff. Get in there. Ross will get all your information. We got to get the hell out of Dodge. I ran it late yet again. I'm so bad at this. On behalf of Deb, Jack, and Ross, I am Jim. We follow the News Junkie. They follow the monsters the morning after us. Tom and Dan with the corporate time and our friends from Real Laughs. We will see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Until then,
bye-bye.
Have yourself a wonderful evening.
And spread your heart cheeks.
A corporate time with Tom and Dan is coming up next on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center. Car crash? Call Clausman Law.
Officials have cleared that wreck on Old Winter Garden Road. East and westbound lanes are all open between Mercy Drive and Ferguson Drive. We're seeing some slowdowns, though, from accidents blocking the shoulder heading west on I-4 between Sand Lake Road and Central Florida Parkway, and also between World Drive and 429. Eastbound to Solid Bride 2 on I-4 between Osceola Parkway and 535. See traffic problems? Call the SafeTouchSecurity.com traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Paige Carrera.
This report is sponsored by Amtrak. Amtrak. Whether you're craving a breath of fresh mountain air, an exciting new adventure, or just some free babysitting from Grandma, Amtrak can get you there. With more than 500 destinations across the country. Everything you're missing, just an Amtrak away.
Right from the start, we've always been on the go. And once we got going, we never slowed down. So for the past 100 years at Pep Boys, we've kept our promise to keep you moving. And we plan on keeping it for at least 100 more. Pep Boys, we go further to help you go farther. Now through August 31st at Pep Boys, get free installation instantly on a set of 4 Michelin or BF Goodrich tires. See pepboys.com for complete details.
Hold on. You want me to tell them about Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea in just 30 seconds? This is impossible. Hey, I'm Billy from Twisted Tea. How can I explain that first sip of cold, smooth, real brewed tea? So good! And the extra kick you get from just the right amount of alcohol? The twist of lemon, Wait, what? We're almost out of time? Oh, shit. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Look for the bright yellow cans wherever you buy beer.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
I could ask my family for money, and I'm sure they'd help me out, but I'd rather depend on me.
An Amscot cash advance could mean up to $500 on the spot with no credit check. Get started at amscot.com.
Amscot.
Some restrictions apply.
Get ready.